Max, but it still doesn't make
4
me
years
feel better about the chalk outline that is the 2021-2022 season.
It makes me feel a little better about it. It's not true.
No,
Yeah,
it doesn't.
Yeah, it does. Make a little better. I'm trying to make people feel
when
better. Stop bringing everyone down.
When LeBron came to the Lakers and then they traded for AD, I was thinking championships, not just one championship.
But I'll take one.
Of course you'll take
one. What happened was LeBron came to L.A. to live a great life, and he is. And then they got AD, and they won. And they were like, he's like, wait a minute, I can live a great life and maybe win a couple more. That's what happened.
Live my
Paradigm
best life.
shift.
So no chance he leaves one day?
I don't think he. I mean, I think he could leave in a couple years to go play with his son. I think that's possible. I think he loves living in L.A. And
Sitting on top of the house, having a glass of wine, Shiraz.
Once you're in LA,
could you
it's
not
hard to
love
leave.
living in LA,
100%. I lived there. They brought me back kicking and screaming. I was like, I'm good, man. I don't want to go anywhere. I get it. Brian Windhorst, ladies and gentlemen.
All right, Wendy.
Thanks, Wendy.
Thanks,
Appreciate it.
guys.
Appreciate you,
Have a good
Wendy.
week.
Tendinitis is contagious.
Keyshawn, J. Will, and Max, presented by Progressive Insurance. Jay says he can't wait until he gets to talk to Magic Johnson again. Jay, you're going to have your chance Monday morning, 9 a.m. right here on KJM. Will Coach K add another chapter to his masterpiece?
Oh, I'm nervous.
Like while we're on the subject of stuff Jay Will knows a little something about. That's after Sports Center.
Has his 8th rebound, 27, 8, and 10. Got a chance at a 30-point triple-double in the third quarter. Chance for 30. There it is. Three-pointer Doncic, 99-62 Mavericks.
You heard it from Mark Hessisher on ESPN Radio. Luka Doncic got his 21st 30-point triple-double, tying Wilt Chamberlain for the fifth most in NBA history. And Luka did it before his bar mitzvah even. This guy is young. Meanwhile, the Lakers stumbled out of play-in position after a 128-110 loss to the Mavericks. LA gave up 82 in the first half. Most points a Lakers team has given up in the first half since the franchise moved to LA. That's 1960, folks. Roger Goodell made it clear on Tuesday that Cleveland Browns quarterback Deshaun Watson could still be disciplined under the league's personal conduct policy. At the conclusion of the NFL's league meeting, Goodell said Watson is still under investigation by the NFL for potential violations. League investigator Lisa Friel is investigating or is overseeing the investigation, which Goodell says has no timetable for conclusion. And five-time Masters champion Tiger Woods, who's trying to come back from serious leg and foot injuries, played 18 holes at Augusta National Golf Club on Tuesday at 46 years old. Woods played with his son Charlie and PGA pro Justin Thomas. Tiger hasn't played in a regular PGA Tour event since the 2020 Masters. I'm talking about these stories and more on This Just In today, 2 p.m. Eastern on ESPN. SportsCenter is brought to you by Dollar Shave Club. The Dollar Shave Club 6-blade razor brings noticeably smoother shaves with 6 stainless steel blades for swift hair removal and a lubricating strip that keeps things smooth. Dollar Shave Club razors are sold at dollarshaveclub.com or in stores.
The madness continues. Westwood One, NCAA Radio Network.
The Coach K Farewell Tour has one more stop. For a record 13th time under Mike Krzyzewski, the Blue Devils are going to the Final Four.
This is ESPN Radio.
Keyshawn, J. Will, and Max, ESPN Radio, Sirius XM Channel 80, your smart speakers. Chris Canty in for Key today. By the way, we've been asking 888-SAY-ESPN, 888-729-3776. What would you give up for Lamar Jackson? A lot of teams need quarterbacks. What would you give up for Lamar Jackson? And I don't want to hear about your firstborn. Like, what would you give up football-wise for Lamar Jackson?
That's the question, Max. What do you want?
So Mike Krzyzewski was talking to Marty Smith. Jay, Mike Krzyzewski is the coach of
Do you know
Duke.
how to spell his name?
No.
Yeah, okay.
I wouldn't even try right now. Yeah. He's affectionately affectionately
I know how to
known.
spell it. W-I-N.
Yeah, smart.
That's how you
I mean,
spell
like, let's be realistic. It's K-R-Z-Y-Z-E-W-S-K-I. I'm
Gotta
getting it
learn
off.
that.
All right, look.
Way to read.
He's known as Coach K affectionately by people, Jay Will, in case you were wondering. So here he is talking about facing UNC for the first time ever in the tournament, and it's in the Final Four, and it's in his final season.
Well, the basketball gods put two very deserving programs there because both of us played well in 4 games to get here. This is not somebody putting you here. It's somebody earning the opportunity. And I think this will be my 98th game that I've coached against North Carolina. And, Roy Williams and I, before Hubert took over this year, we often remarked how lucky we were to be the coaches of Duke and North Carolina, because what people have done before us, players and coaches, have really elevated this rivalry to such a high level. And to do it on this stage is pretty cool, really.
Jay, he's talking about two deserving programs in terms of like the way they've played. He's not saying, hey, we're blue bloods, therefore we deserve. He's saying we played the right way. And I go back in my mind to when Duke was beaten, right? And you were there for that game. And it was like, ooh, that's a bad loss to take against a rival. And they'd never met in the tournament. But the way he came out, Coach K came out after that game, some people criticized him for, because he just didn't like the way they played. And yet, maybe you could look at that as a turning point, and even the way he approaches it, like the process is important and doesn't deviate from that, even though it's his final season. Did that help lead to this moment now?
Yes, and for people out there to say, oh, the other day I said, this is going to be the biggest game in college basketball history. And I gave all my reasons why, right? These two teams who are the biggest rivalry in sports have never met in the NCAA tournament. Coach K's last time he's going to ever play them in the Final Four is last season. And people say, well, they're 8 seed. I'm like, okay, look, take all this seeding stuff, throw it out the damn window. It's never mattered in this rivalry. There will be some seasons in which North Carolina wouldn't even be ranked and it would still beat Duke, or vice versa, because it means something so much more. Speaking of it meaning something so much more, somebody who has a lot more insight to Coach K and how we rolled at Duke, Max?
Ian O'Connor, author of Coach K, The Rise and Reign of Mike Krzyzewski. Ian, welcome to the show. Good morning. You've been with this Duke team for the past 4 NCAA tournament games. What do you think it's meant to Coach K to have a run like this in his last dance?
Yeah, it's pretty ridiculous, guys. I don't know if Jay agrees with this, but I see a joy on his face and his expressions and his voice that I don't remember seeing before. And it's actually pretty refreshing to see. And to have this kind of journey as his last journey is pretty amazing. I don't think anyone who was there in South Carolina when we watched Michigan State, the final 5 minutes of that game, down 5, really thought Duke could win that game. Just look at some of the ways that they handled tense endgame situations during the regular season. And I don't know. I was surprised. I think a lot of people in the building were surprised who had seen Duke at least 30 times during the course of the season like I had. And I think Coach K was surprised. I know he would never admit that for public consumption, but just given the way he reacted after that game, it almost seemed like he didn't realize that his team had that in them. And, of course, that breakthrough has led to where they are right now.
Ian, I always find it funny because I've known Coach K on an intimate, personal level for a very long time, since I've been 16 years old. And he is a very intense personality. He strives for excellence at everything he does. And that comes with him pushing you each and every day to be better. I'm curious, when you hear people that would criticize Coach K about after the Duke North Carolina game, about how he treated, was that revealing or shocking to you, seeing him talk that way? Or was that for you, who spent 4 years with him, oh, that's just who Coach K is, and people were finally getting a chance to see the real side of it?
Yeah, and I think you probably saw that too during your time there, Jay. And obviously, I look at an incident like with Chris Carrawell after he broke a play against St. John's.
That was my freshman year. That's my freshman year.
Right. And
yep.
so, I talked to so many players who said that they'd never seen a player berated like that after a game in a locker room. Chris Carrawell, now an associate head coach at Duke, so he's come full cycle, so to speak. And I think that Coach K, behind closed doors in practices, still has a fair amount of Bobby Knight in him. Now, that approach has been tempered over the years. He's 75 now, so I think that's changed. But I think that was a part of Coach K that America didn't know existed, and behind closed doors. So he can get in your face. He could say some very tough and degrading things. I think the difference between him and Bob Knight over the years was Knight would cross the line of acceptable coach-player conduct. Mike would go up to the line and maybe not necessarily cross it. I think in the case of, say, Chris Carrawell, he did. And I know you had a pretty heated exchange with him after a Virginia game on the road. I do think confrontation, when you're every day, when you're challenging people, confrontation is part of growth. I don't know if you see it the same way, but I think in 98% of the cases, that's what happened inside the Duke program. I think there was a time or two where Coach K went too far, and I would say in the Carrawell case he did, and maybe in your case as well.
Yeah, can you get into that a little bit, Ian? What about immediately our ears go, what happened with Jay? Let's get into that whole thing. But please get into it. How did he go too far in the situation with Jay Will?
Well, as I understand it, he thought Jay already had one eye on the NBA. So we're talking about the season after Jay wins a national title. And there's a confrontation in the locker room after the Virginia game on the road. And it gets heated. And Reggie Love, who was a teammate at the time, told me, now he later became an aide to Barack Obama in the White House. And he said he witnessed an argument at Reagan National on the tarmac between Obama and Hillary Clinton that was very awkward when they were both candidates for the Democratic nomination. And he said it reminded him of that the confrontation was heated, awkward. People in the locker room didn't know what to do with it. And I don't know if Jay feels that there was some growth that came out of that. Maybe, maybe not. But that could have been a case where Coach K, in challenging people every day, every hour of every day, just went too far with one of the best players he ever had.
How do you see
Ian,
that?
yeah.
Did he go too far?
It was one of those situations, Ian, where look, when you are constantly being pushed and being pushed and being pushed, and I had made a decision, frankly, to not go to the NBA, to come back and to play another year. So for me, in that moment when I decided to pass up a shot to give the ball to Mike Dunleavy and coach comes at me that way, I had a Will Ferrell old school like moment where he's at the podium and like, what the hell did I just say? Because I found myself up standing over the top of him, hitting my fist, approaching him, almost ready to fight. But I will tell you what that did for me. It was the first time I learned that it was up to me to lead our team. I knew I had to lead our team, but in that moment, he designed to play for me. I decided to pass. And in a way, he was telling me, no, you taking a challenge shot is better than somebody else taking an open shot because this is what I expect from you. And almost in a way, I turned that down, but I never had that responsibility before because I never been challenged that way. So, look, I think through any wins and losses in the season, ups and downs, you get faced with some adversity, and how you deal with that, how you respond to that, determines where your team's altitude was, and that was a prime example.
That is so Chris Canty and for Key today on Keyshawn, G. Will, and Max. Ian O'Connor, author of Coach K, The Rise and Reign of Mike Krzyzewski, with us. That's so interesting to me because when you think about what that conflict's about, here's a great coach telling a great player, I need you to try to score even when it's contested, which a lot of players do too often, right?
Yep.
And the player not having been challenged like that, like they're almost fighting each other, but it's because they think a lot of each other, because coach thinks so much of the player.
Well, sure, yeah. I mean, Jay probably wants to make the best basketball play in that moment where Coach K is saying, you're my best player. I need you to make a play for your team. So I can understand the push and pull that would happen between the two. But, Ian, I want to ask you this because you're very familiar with Coach K's 40-plus years at Duke. And I wanted to know, what is this next chapter in the Duke-UNC rivalry, this Final Four matchup that we're anticipating this weekend? What is that going to do in terms of Coach K's legacy, but overall the rivalry between the two Tobacco Road teams? What is this new installment of Duke Carolina, them meeting the first time in the NCAA tournament in the Final Four for a chance to compete for a championship?
Well, Chris, I agree with Jay. I think it probably is the biggest game in the history of the sport. And it means everything. Now, when the Yankees lost to the Red Sox in 2004 in an historic series, up 3-0 and lose that ALCS, I was there for that. And the difference is, and obviously that's a blood rivalry as well, but Yankees fans don't live 6 to 8 miles away from Red Sox fans. So when you lose a game of this magnitude, you literally live with the winning fan base, if you're on the losing side, every day in grocery stores, in schools, in banks, wherever. So this is a titanic matchup with titanic consequences for the loser. There's no question about it. Now, if you're Coach K, what you say is, well, to yourself maybe, certainly not publicly, if I lose this game, I still have the same amount of national championships as Dean Smith and Roy Williams combined. I still have a winning record, not by much, against North Carolina in my career. And really, his legacy to me, he is slightly ahead of John Wooden as the greatest coach of all time. So is it really going to impact his legacy? I would say no, that's intact. But there are severe consequences here for the loser. There's no question about it.
Ian, I really appreciate the insight that you provide on Duke, but could you never come on my show again before the biggest game in the history of college basketball and wear a Carolina blue shirt? Can you not do that to me, Ian? Please.
You're promoting a Duke book.
That was not planned.
You're promoting a book on Duke, Ian.
I think my wife put out this shirt. So
she's sabotaging you.
I apologize.
Ian O'Connor, ladies and gentlemen. The book is Coach K, The Rise and Reign of Mike Krzyzewski. Thanks, Ian.
Thanks, Ian. Appreciate you, man.
Thanks, guys.
How many teams have the guy and how many teams don't at the most important position in sports? That's next. Keyshawn, J. Will and Max on ESPN Radio and ESPN2.
Want to produce the show? Go to KJ and Max on Twitter and choose your own adventure by voting for our 945 topic.
I'm Keyshawn Johnson, and I officially approve this message.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone. So you need to change your oil. Right now, you can get 5 quarts of Valvoline Daily Protection or Valvoline Max Life High Mileage Motor Oil with an STP oil filter, plus an STP air filter or cabin air filter for just $36.99. Visit one of our 6,000 stores or order from AutoZone.com for same-day store pickup or next-day delivery.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
The sound of you doing is music to our ears. Order on the Home Depot app and get convenient delivery, so you don't have to stop doing when you need something. The Home Depot app. How doers get more done.
Weather in the Panhandle never stops. Turn to 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida and staff meteorologist Tim Root for up-to-the-minute weather reports all day long.
Moving northwestward into the Gulf of Mexico by the weekend.
In-depth storm coverage.
Gusty winds up to 60 miles per hour.
And breaking weather as it happens.
We do have a tropical storm warning.
ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
Offered Tire and Service Center on Tyndall Parkway in Callaway is your authorized Goodyear and Michelin dealer.
Looking for ways to save at the pump? Ask about Offer's fuel induction service that can improve gas mileage and engine performance, cleaning any buildup that forms inside your engine parts at Offered Tire and Service Center. Their latest technology to clean up the entire system, not just the gas tank.
Offered Tire and Service Center on Tyndall Parkway in Callaway. Locally owned for the past 35 years and worth the drive from anywhere.
Dr. Chad Mitchell, orthopedic surgeon, specializing in sports medicine and joint replacement of the knee, shoulder, and hip. He serves our local athletes and our community. Southern Orthopedic Specialist has been the leader in orthopedic care for over 20 years. New patients are welcome. Call 850-769-KNEE to schedule an appointment. More about Dr. Mitchell and Southern Orthopedic Specialist is available on their website, southernorthopedic.com. Southern Orthopedic, getting you back in the game.
Hi, I'm Bobby Likas with today's Car Clinic Minute. Do you dream of being a doctor, lawyer, fireman? How about a rocket scientist or an automotive technician? There's not as much difference between the last two as you think. When I come back, it's Blast Off.
The Car Clinic Minute.
It's Bobby Likas Car Clinic, brought to you locally by Hewitt Tire and Auto.
Call 850-769-7323.
Your certified AAA service center and hometown towing.
Visit them online at HewittTire.com.
On Airport Road in Panama City.
That's 850-769-7323. Hewitt Tire and Auto Center and hometown towing.
Rocket scientist and auto technician. Similar? Yes. Today's automobiles are more sophisticated than Apollo 13 that took the astronauts to the moon. Outer space aside, here on Earth, there's a critical shortage of trained repair technicians. While 2 million vehicles are added to our highways each year, those with the expertise to keep them on the road decreases by 5%. The impact on automotive consumers? More expensive repairs that take longer. So encourage a young person to think scientist, think lab coat, think automotive technician. I'm Bobby Likas. Like us, you'll love us.
I was in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean when it happened. There was a sudden jolt, and our submarine crashed on the seafloor. We were in total darkness.
That's Dr. Dejana Figueroa, a marine biologist and STEM teacher, talking about a deep sea dive she'll never forget.
It's funny, when I was a kid, I was afraid of the ocean, and there I was, 2 miles below the surface. But as a scientist, you prepare for that. Using our training and a little creativity, we fixed the sub and finished our experiments. The dive was just too important. Every dive gives us glimpses at things few people ever get to see. Glowing creatures, fiery undersea volcanoes. When we got back to the surface, I kissed the ground and called my mom, of course. But you know what? I wouldn't trade that dive for anything.
Dr. Figueroa uses her passion for STEM to discover new things and make the world a better place. She can STEM, so can you. Check out She Can STEM for more stories and inspiration. A message from the Ad Council.
He's phony, she's fake. That's the type of people I hate.
Most shows say buy or sell, but we're not most shows. This is Real or Not Real.
Wait a minute, who's real? Who's not?
Real or Not Real is brought to you by Grainger with supplies and solutions for every industry. Grainger is always there to help. Call, click, Grainger.com, or just stop by. Evan, I heard Real or Not Real. What do we got?
Yeah, so you said something interesting the other day about the Giants are like kind of squinting.
Yeah.
To try and make themselves believe that they have the quarterback.
Daniel Jones kind of looks like a quarterback.
Under the right light, if I dim it a little bit, maybe I got my guy.
Dimming the lights makes everything different.
So, real or not real?
That's too real. That's too real right there.
Real or not real? The team has their quarterback or doesn't.
Okay.
Real means they have the guy. Doesn't mean they don't. There's no squinting here. You either have the guy or you don't. Start with the Giants.
Yeah, not real. Sorry, who are we starting with?
Chris, Giants.
Okay.
Not real. Not real. Listen, I love Daniel Jones. I root for the kid, but, you know, if you have to keep asking yourself the question of, is he the franchise quarterback? He's not. 50 total turnovers to 49, 50 total touchdowns to 49 total turnovers in 3 seasons, and he doesn't play in all the games in any of his first 3 seasons. Yeah, not real. They don't have their dude.
You see, and I know he's different. And for anybody who wants to use a counterpoint, well, a lot of quarterbacks that don't have the protection up front, like they have the ability to make plays. Joe Burrow didn't have protection up front, and he made incredible plays. So I don't have any more excuses for Daniel Jones.
Not real. Next.
Chris, the other team you played for throughout most of your career, the Cowboys, Dak Prescott, the guy or not real?
He's real. I think you can win a championship with Dak Prescott, but the pieces around him have to be really good. When you start looking at Dak, the contract becomes complicated because now you have to move on from some other guys that are really good players like Lyle Collins, like Amari Cooper in a salary cap crunch. I think you can win with Dak, but at a certain price.
Real, I don't see Dak carrying a team, but I do see Dak having the ability to make critical plays down the stretch when you need him to.
Real, because my litmus test is this, or my test is this. If I have this guy, am I looking for a quarterback? No. I mean, of course, do I want Patrick Mahomes? Yeah, but am I looking? No, I have my quarterback. It's real.
The Eagles stay in the division. Jalen Hurts, is it real or not real?
Not real. I don't think they have their quarterback yet. I love what I've seen from Jalen Hurts, but I can't say definitively that he's the guy. And I think that this year they're going to give him an opportunity as his second full season as a starter. It's a show and prove year for Jalen Hurts. Remember, he's not a first-round draft pick. He's a second-round draft pick. So there's a short runway, and the Eagles are getting to that point where they're going to have to make a decision long-term one way or the other.
Did the Eagles make the playoffs?
They did.
Yeah, I'm going to say it's real. I like Jalen Hurts. I think Jalen Hurts has upside. Are there some things he needs to work on after his first full start as a quarterback in the NFL? Yes, I think he can do it. Real.
This is such a great question because it's real in the sense he is the quarterback now. And I think they can succeed with him, but he has not proven it yet. It's not set in stone yet. So I have to go not real until he proves it. This season will be his chance to prove it. He's got to read the middle of the field better. He's got to see it better.
I was going to stay in the division, but there's no chance you guys think Carson Wentz is real based
Not
on
real.
the hate I heard earlier.
Yeah, we can keep
So
that
we'll
for
move on
next.
from that haterade. Mitch Trubisky's Steelers, is he the guy, real or not real, Chris?
Not real. He's not going to be their guy, and I think the Steelers are going to be in the market for a quarterback early in this draft. I wouldn't be surprised if they actually move up from 20. So, yeah, Mitch Trubisky is a stopgap, and the contract that they gave him reflects their commitment level to him.
Not real. I mean, when you see Mike Tomlin smiling from ear to ear with Malik Willis, you know what time it is.
Not real in the sense, well, just what Chris said. It is not a long-term franchise quarterback, but he's the quarterback for now, and I think he could make the playoffs.
Placeholder.
I put this in here because we have not heard a lot about this team this offseason. I'm just curious what you guys think. The Bears, do they have the guy in Justin Fields? Is it real or not real?
I think it's real. All I needed to see was that second half of that game against the Pittsburgh Steelers in primetime. He showed me a lot of things in that game that I think you can build off of. So it'll be interesting to see what their new head coach, Matt Eberflus, and that offensive staff does with him in terms of being able to get the most out of his talent. But the kid has got some things that you just can't teach.
It's personal for me because I've had a connection with Justin for a while. Plus, he played at the Ohio State, so it's real.
Real for me, I wanted the Giants to draft him even though they had Daniel Jones and Dan Orlovsky and Stephen A. And everyone told me I was nuts, but I think I was right then. I think I'm right now. I believe in Justin Fields' future. Finally, someone has admitted what we're all thinking when it comes to the NFL. That's next. What could it be? Keyshawn, J. Willimax, ESPN Radio.
Start your March with a bang. Right now, FanDuel Sportsbook is giving new customers a $150 instant bonus guaranteed. That's right. You'll get $150 in bonus site credit, and all you have to do is place your first bet of $5 or more. Join FanDuel today with promo code PLAY. That's promo code PLAY on the FanDuel Sportsbook app.
21 plus and present in Arizona, Colorado, Connecticut, Iowa, Illinois, Indiana, Louisiana, permitted parishes only. Michigan, New Jersey, New York, Pennsylvania, Tennessee, Virginia, Wyoming, or West Virginia. First online real money wager only. $10 first deposit required. Bonus issued is non-withdrawable site credit that expires 14 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See full terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit fanduel.com/RG in Colorado, Iowa, Michigan, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, Illinois, and Virginia. 1-800-NEXT-STEP or text NEXT-STEP to 53342 in Arizona. 1-888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org/chat in Connecticut. 1-800-9-WITH-IT in Indiana. 1-877-7770-STOP in Louisiana. 1-877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369 in New York. Tennessee Redline 1-800-889-9789. 1-800-522-4700 in Wyoming or visit 1-800-GAMBLER.net in West Virginia.
Dell's semi-annual sale is the perfect opportunity for a significant business upgrade. Save up to 45% on Dell computers with Windows 11 Pro and get an easy start to your workday. Plus, enjoy special pricing on Dell docks, monitors, servers, and more, all with easy financing options through Dell Financial Services. Speak to a Dell Technologies advisor today to find the right tech for your business with fast, free shipping. Call 877-ASK-DELL. Again, that's 877-ASK-DELL.
104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. Your exclusive home for March Madness.
And it goes for the win!
We'll bring you every game live. It's the NCAA Men's Basketball Tournament, college basketball's premier event, and it's all right here.
And the dream is alive!
104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Good Wednesday morning, a blend of sun and clouds in the mid-70s. Today, a windy day, a south wind up to 35 miles per hour. There's a high surf advisory in effect through Thursday. And it looks like a chance of showers and thunderstorms overnight. Windy, could be a severe thunderstorm overnight, the low near 67. More showers and thunderstorms Thursday. This weather forecast has been brought to you by Offord Tire and Service Center in Callaway. For 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida, I'm meteorologist Tim Root.
Let your spring adventure begin at Bill Byrne Kia. Stop by today to discover why everyone is talking about the award-winning Kia. Now offering 1.9% APR up to 48 months on the purchase of a 2022 Kia Forte, K5, Soul, or Sorrento. Bill Byrne Kia is not only the home of the 20-year, 200,000-mile warranty, they're the home of the best customer experience anywhere. Stop by and see us at 2435 East 15th Street or anytime at BillByrdKia.com. We make buying a car easy, and you'll enjoy the way we do business.
Offer from KMF for the purchase of a new 2022 Forte, K5, Soul, and Sorrento with $21.65 per month per 1,000 financed in 48 months. Quality is limited. No down payment required. Cannot be combined with other finance offers. The 20-year, 200,000-mile warranty is a Billboard Kia warranty. See dealer for complete details. Offer for well-qualified buyers. Must take delivery from dealer stock through 4/4/22.
Hi, this is Coach James Hale. Keeping your car looking great is easy as 1, 2, 3 at Blue Sky Express Car Wash. By joining their monthly wash club, you'll get the best bang for your buck. In just 2 car washes, your monthly membership pays for itself, starting at only $19.99 a month. What are you waiting for? Become a member today at Blue Sky Express Car Wash on Back Beach Road next to Home Depot. Tell them Coach Hale sent you.
Safety is a hot topic, and Emerald Coast Damsel has a variety of local services to educate your employees and beyond. They host realtor safety and warrior workshops and empower hours. You can book them for graduation, bachelorette parties, or other events. Plus, they provide products to keep your kids safe, like storybooks and board games. Give the gift of self-protection and contact Michelle and Rick today, 850-358-2810, or visit their website at emeraldcoastdamsel.com. Independent Damsel Pro for Damsel in Defense.
The world champs are back. The Braves are out to defend their world championship. And behind Matt Olson, Ronald Acuna, Dansby Swanson, Max Fried, and this loaded 2022 roster, a repeat is within reach.
There goes Ozzie, 2-2 on the way, hit well. Deep center field. Might have ourselves a tie ball game, you betcha.
And we'll bring you every huge moment of the Braves 2022 season right here.
104.3 ESPN, Northwest Florida.
Hi, I'm Tracy, your diamond girl at Tracy's Fine Jewelry. Shopping for the perfect diamond can be difficult, but that's why I've trained my staff to be helpful and to offer you a stress-free diamond experience. Pick your sparkle and use our easy layaway plan. Every woman deserves an exquisite diamond from your diamond girl at Tracy's Fine Jewelry. We don't work on commissions.
We work for smiles and I-dos.
So if you're tired of high-pressure salespeople, stop by and see us today at Tracy's Fine Jewelry.
Your exclusive home for March Madness. Powered by Pepsi. WGSX Lynn Haven, Panama City. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Lights, camera, action.
It's the Coach James Hale Show.
Do you know who I am?
Live and local inside the J. Michaels studio.
People know me.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
Hit me! 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. We are live today. Special day here today. We got the Arnold head football coach, Coach Campbell. How are you doing this morning?
Doing great, Coach. Appreciate you having me on air. Everything's good. How are you?
You're always welcome every single time you want to come. You are the head football coach of Arnold High School, of Panama City Beach. And we had the new head football coach, Bay High School, with us this morning. Coach Glenn Manley. I don't know if it's hit the news yet. Yes, Glenn Manley is now the head football coach. I thought, why don't we have you in here then? You said...
Well, there's supposed to be a check here. I don't know where there's no check, so...
It's on the way. It's in the mail. It's in the mail.
But no, I just,
You're not up for... You're not going to take the job. Did you turn it down?
No, they didn't even ask me. I was too old. You know, when you're ranking there with fossils and dirt, you can't...
We want you back, baby. We want you back in the saddle.
Let me just tell you this. About 3 years ago, I figured out that my time has passed. Standing out there all day and then riding that stinking bus. I was like, nope. Then the first game away was in Gainesville.
Wow.
So I said, I figured out already. It didn't take me about an hour to figure out, you know what? I'll just come work with the Kickers and go home.
Well, Coach, you're not near our age. You got a long time to go before you kick it in.
I've got a few. I'm not as gray and old as you look. I'm trying to hang in there as long as I can. To be honest with you.
You look good. You look like you can still play.
No. My mind says yes. My body says no. But
That's right.
How many years
you
now?
can play, but the next day it's not the same as it was when you were
younger. It took me a month to get over it, Coach. I swear.
How many years now have you been coaching total?
32.
Somebody just texting, Campbell is the man. I'm not going to say who it is. Another legendary coach just texted in here. How many years? 32?
32 total.
Lord. Now, see, you should have listened. You should have stayed. Billy Livens told me, remember Billy? He said, do not leave the state. And I didn't. I listened to him but I always want to go back to Alabama. Didn't do it. Now, thank God I didn't, because I got my 30 years. Glenn, I don't think they can take it away, because they'd already taken it away from both of us. But I guess we're in pretty good shape. So how many you got in Florida?
I'm on 12 right now. I had 10 when I left to go to Georgia. I got 20 in Georgia. So
you're vested in Georgia.
Yes, I'm still vested in Florida, too. I just didn't have as much as, if I'd have stayed for 30 years. But it's going to be all right.
When you're vested, like when you came back to Florida, does that first year add back into your retirement then?
No, you had to go 1 year, then you become reinvested, because I'm grandfathered none of the old investment plan they had before.
Good. So you don't have to. The new one is what, 33 years now?
Yeah. So and that was one of the reasons why I decided to come back. Because it made it financially feasible when I got ready to retire. I was going to be able to. So.
Well, we got you another 20 years. That's good. We'll be all right.
I got a bunch in me. I don't know if I got 20, but I definitely got a bunch in me yet. So.
How's everything going for us, the winter workouts at Arnold?
Really good. Kids are doing a great job. We've transitioned into a full year. Got the same coaching staff. We've got Coach Flagg on board now with our strength conditioning program.
Good.
It's gone through the roof. We did a great job with our lift-a-thon in February. The kids, they raised about $14,000 all said and done. We broke like 25 personal PRs.
Wow.
So they're getting better. We're starting to install now, and things are plugging right along. We got our golf tournament April 23rd. If you want to come play golf, we'd love to have you at Bay Point at 9 o'clock. If you have any information on that, contact me at the school. But it's going really good. I'm really excited. The kids are excited. They got a good little flavor going, and we're going to see what happens. We're putting a lot of work in. So.
All right, April 23rd, Bay Point.
April 23rd, Bay Point, 9 o'clock tee off. So
Bay Point.
We're going to have a silent auction. We're going to have all the standard gifts and giveaways for the golf tournaments. But we're looking forward to it. That's always a big fundraiser for us.
Now, was really made big time money for some of the other golf tournaments, and I got to make sure you two get together. Glenn actually brings his guitar and sings at a couple of them, and I'm telling you, the women show up, they make a lot of money. Glenn, you are absolutely awesome singer, songwriter. It's incredible.
Well, thank you so much.
We put them on the night tee box. Pay for them or have them be quiet. But they got to pay either way.
That's a good idea, man. I like that.
That's right.
Glenn, what have you been doing besides playing golf?
That's it.
Just playing golf?
Yeah, playing golf.
How's my girl doing up in Nashville?
She's doing really well. We got some kinfolks' weddings coming up, so I'm going to actually go to Auburn and stay in a little condo and then drive to Alexander City or Alex City if you're from Alabama.
Yeah.
And see them. And then somewhere in June, my buddy at Springfield High School in Springfield, Tennessee, they have a golf tournament in June 17th, so I'm going up there and do that. And then I'll send him a packet of my kicking stuff, so we're going to go over some of that.
Well, good, man.
So,
you're looking good. You look better. You look like you don't have any stress on you anymore.
I know. I don't.
Sleep in?
Sleep in. Well, no, I don't sleep in. Conrad and I, we're tee off at 7.
Yeah.
And then we're really teed off about 7:30. No, we play. We're through about 9:30, 9:45, and then you got the rest of the day.
That one day, I think it was the coldest day we had all year. Him and Conrad playing golf. I saw a picture. I put it on Facebook. How could you swing with the coats on? I'm like, what is he doing? What are you doing?
Well, you just dress in layers, and then you
take them off as you go.
As you go, it's better to have more than not enough, especially in the cold weather. But
I'll tell you what now.
I'll tell you what. Also, Ryan and his staff, they got that place immaculate.
Oh, Coach Campbell knows. That's the reason they're having the golf tournament there.
They do a great job out there.
You want to make money, you're going to have it at Bay Point. Just listen to Ryan. And you guys got a lot of people. I tell you what, give a shout out to some of the parents that are helping out with the golf tournament, some of you boosters. Who's some of those people working hard?
Our corporate boosters are the Occasion Place. Jan and Trudy White, they do an awesome job. Blue Sky Car Wash is still on board with us, even though Matt has sold out. The corporation, the bottom over, is taking them over. Pepsi Cola. Patches does an awesome job supporting us financially with food and stuff like that. We got Trinity Automotives coming on board. They're going to be a new car lot on Thomas Drive where the old Tyndall credit union was.
Right.
Chad Smith and his bunch. He's actually come on board. He helped coach Trevor Lawrence in high school. So
that's the guy in Georgia, right?
Yes, sir. He's come on board and going to volunteer and help us a little bit. So those are our main people. But with Ryan, those guys at the golf course are doing an awesome job supporting us.
Yeah.
And then everybody else in the community that has continued supporting us, we just ask you to continue to do it and keep moving forward, help us move forward. So.
How many slots are open now? Is it still wide open? You can call them.
We got about 19 foursomes right now. There's probably 32s. I think is the cap number we're going to do. But there's still plenty of time. It's early, so. A lot of them are repeat from last year.
If you don't want to play, we always tell everybody just bring a cash check bring a check.
Buy a sign.
You can bring the check, bring the cash to me and Glenn, but bring the check to Arnold High School.
I'd rather check.
Seriously, if they just want to bring money by, they can bring it by Bay Point that day, or they can just come by Arnold
that day, or come by the school and come to the front office and ask for
you.
And,
yeah,
I'll be glad to come up and help take their support. So.
Now, did you get that $5,000 we all gave to Rick Green last year? Did you get it?
Well, I haven't quite seen that yet.
Yeah, we'll bring the money to Campbell. Bring the money to Campbell. Make sure you get the check to Campbell.
Well, Rick's back in his original house now, so
is he back?
Yeah, I think he is.
Yeah.
He lives across the street from Conrad, so.
Well, I'm going to ask you, what's the word on Bay? Awful quiet. Who's in the running for the football coach over that job?
I'll have to be. I don't know. Actually, I wasn't asked to be on the committee.
Really?
Yeah, which is okay. I mean, it doesn't bother me. The other thing too is, right now there's some people around here that have applied and they don't want people to know who they are. You know how that goes. But they got some good candidates. They told me. I haven't been there. I haven't seen any names yet.
Yeah.
So,
okay. Have you heard about what time frame you might hear something?
It's going to be real close because I actually saw Mr. May the other day, and he said they're getting around to it. He said he'd let me know who the final 3 are, as long as I wasn't on the radio.
You don't have to be. Just let me.
But no, they got to get ready and go. So
spring. When is spring football cranking up this year?
April 25th.
So it used to be May 1st forever.
Right. Well, they moved it back because everybody's graduation kind of fall in that third week of May.
Yeah.
So we would lose a week of spring practice. So they've moved it back to April 25th. Our spring jamboree jamboree game is the 20th.
Now you have a blue-white game also and a JV.
We're going to try to do an official scrimmage with official groups the week before. Still in the process of trying to finalize that down. But
y'all going to do it during school, let school out, or are you going to do it at night?
No, it'll be in the afternoon.
Get them used to Okay. Now, where are the jamboree going to be played this year?
It'll be at our place. It'll be us, Bozeman Bay, and North Bay Haven.
Oh, okay, good.
Us, Bozeman Bay, and Rutherford, excuse me.
Okay.
North Bay had planned on he was going to do his own thing, so I'm not sure where they're at right now. But we're excited about it. It's going to be a little different format than what people are used to. It's going to be more like a summer OTA. We're going to have 2 teams going one way, 2 teams going the other way. And really the reason we decided to do it is so we get a lot of reps for our young kids.
Yeah.
The spring games, the young kids kind of seem to get cheated. They practice for a month and they get 5 reps. So we're trying to find a way to get as many reps for those younger kids.
So will y'all put the ball in a certain area, run the play, bring it back to the ball, and put it right down the same place?
It'll be situational. The first 10 minutes will be like 11 on 11, be focused on inside run. And then the next 10 minutes will be your long passing situation, 11 on 11, obviously. And then we'll go to goal line. Then we'll finish with a drive where you start on the 40 and try to drive 40 yards to score a touchdown. And then when the time switches, the teams will switch. So everybody kind of gets a little bit of a
everybody play everybody?
Yes, that's the plan. So
okay. Now, again, we have kickoff time yet?
6 o'clock.
6 o'clock. And that date on that one?
Is May 20th.
Man, I can't believe time's flying by. May 20th. Write this down. 6 o'clock. And they can buy tickets at the stadium, right?
Yes,
They don't have to go
all
online.
It's all GoFan now. There's no hard copy, so you got to have your credit card and do everything online.
Is that everywhere now?
That's pretty much everywhere, yeah.
The state went ahead and.
Hell, I can't even get in the stadium. I don't know how to do all this stuff.
So go
show your credit card.
Kicking back to the.
Yeah. I wonder if the states take any money from that. Hey, probably because usually they get what's the percentage they get now for jamborees?
Well, it's $1,500. That's what they got last year from us.
It's highway. They used to piss.
We have to send them $200 so you can put it on. Then you have to when you do
pay
your
them
financial.
as they sit up there and they collect the money. It really upsets me the way they do it here. I mean, it's not like we're making a lot of money.
Well,
way back then,
you sponsor the golf tournament and you have to send them money, but you can't charge for admission.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I don't. And I know we're not bringing you involved in this, but it just makes me sick the way the state does it here. Other states are good.
Here's the thing: when you're retiring and you accidentally leave off their share, and you just send it to all the schools.
It's hard to get it back.
They don't catch it till November when somebody called me. Did you do the financial thing for the?
Yeah, it's hard to get the money back then. That's smart. I like that.
So, y'all didn't hear that out there in radio land, but anyway.
I do want to say that North Bay Haven, Hillard assistant coach, former head coaches. I think as a finalist for that position. Mr. York, Coach York, is in the running for that. I think we might know something Friday.
That'll be Aaron York.
Aaron York,
not Freddie.
Yeah, not Freddie. I don't think Freddie wants it. I think Freddie's pretty happy where he's at. But we'll see what happens Friday. I think we've got I don't want to say, we hear different things.
Yeah, I know.
So, York.
Started by Randy over there, probably.
No. Somebody walked in. I was walking this morning. Somebody said, "Hey, I got some information for you," and they had to hurry up and get to school. So, and it was a student. They usually know.
That's true.
Not as far as you know. I'm just kidding. But that's just a rumor out there that got a shot. And we are in the rumor business here on radio.
Absolutely.
TV is not rumor whatsoever.
No,
radio
just,
is.
and we have some semblance of truth in advertising too.
As far as you know. Hey, seriously, I do want to give a shout out to Panama City Greg, our wonderful mayor, Nikki. Man, what a great job he does here in Panama City. He's not going to have that stuff happen here in town like what happened over on the beach. 2 o'clock, it's done deal. 2 o'clock in the morning, they're shutting it down. What was happening over there, Glenn, everybody would find out, well, we can't drink on the beach anymore. Let's drive across the bridge and find a place to go have a good time or tear up. And it's not going to happen anymore. Congratulations to them. This past weekend was absolutely.
Whoa, I know.
It was pitiful.
Dangerous.
Pitiful, man. Thank God for. We tell you all the time. If you see a policeman or a police woman out working, they got the uniform on. If you know they're a police officer, if you can afford it, please buy their lunch. Say something nice to them. Thank God for those people. They do an incredible job. Just like today, if you see one at J. Michael's restaurant, that's what you need to do. Buy them a world famous spaghetti every Wednesday. That's the only time you'll get it. Best seafood, coldest beer, J. Michael's. Right there on Thomas Drive. Also, Stevenson Air Conditioning. You know, Jason does an incredible job. It's the only thing you can actually purchase that pays for itself. Guy's incredible. If it breaks down, no problem. Call Stevenson Air Conditioning day or night. Call Debbie. They'll get somebody out there as soon as they possibly can. Buffalo Rock, it's like here we go again. They're always helping people out. Every school in this county they've done things for. Let's help them out. Final Four is getting ready to happen. Make sure you have a get-together. Make sure it's Buffalo Rock products. All right, we'll be right back. Glenn Manley, old school, is going to do his, the old man. I'm sorry, old school's happening. The old man's going to do his local update. We get back. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. Got Coach Campbell with us this morning.
Good Wednesday morning. A blend of sun and clouds in the mid-70s. Today, a windy day. A south wind up to 35 miles per hour. There's a high surf advisory in effect through Thursday. And it looks like a chance of showers and thunderstorms overnight. Windy. Could be a severe thunderstorm overnight. The low near 67. More showers and thunderstorms Thursday. This weather forecast has been brought to you by Mid-South Lumber, best little lumber yard in Panama City and Youngstown. For 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida, I'm meteorologist Tim Root.
104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
The Dan Patrick Show.
Yeah, I watched some of that game, and remember when everybody wanted to make them the new Shaq and Kobe? James Harden is CERN for me. I'm waiting for a big moment where he plays big, and here we go with the playoffs again. You're on the team that you want, right? Let's play.
Dan Patrick.
The Dan Patrick Show.
9 to 11 on ESPN Northwest Florida.
Bestway Portable Buildings has been in the Panama City area since 1989. They've been here longer than anyone else. The reasons? High quality, reasonable prices, and tremendous service. Stop by and see owner Jason Mulder and let him and his staff help you pick out the perfect building for your home or business. Just down from Harts Marine on North Highway 231. Online at bestwayportablebuildings.com. Member of the BBB. Bestway Portable Buildings. The best in portable, period.
Barbaritos has been committed to serving farm fresh food since 2000. Barbaritos food is made with love, straight from the heart. Every morning they begin preparing food from scratch, from chopping fresh tomatoes for sauces to mashing fresh avocados for guacamole. Barbaritos cares about food.
For a limited time between the hours of 6 and 9 p.m., you'll get a free small creamy cheese dip with the purchase of an entree and a drink.
That's Barbaritos on 23rd Street near Hobby Lobby.
Barbaritos. We make it fresh. You make it yours.
He's a 10-foot-tall, barrel-chested beast man who showers in vodka and feeds his baby shrimp scampi.
I'm kind of a big deal.
Please welcome.
Pain don't hurt.
Live and local from the J. Michaels studio, the Coach James Hale Show, 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
And welcome back to 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. School is out in Bay County. What do they have? Coach, what do they have? A teacher's work day?
PLC Day.
Yeah.
Professional Learning.
I thought that was.
Yeah, going to lunch early, staying long. I thought that's what Glenn meant, that's what it meant for me and Glenn. We used to meet and have lunch somewhere between Arnold and Bay back in the day, and it was fun. I remember those meetings.
Yeah, we had Tommy too, and he would never pay.
No, he wouldn't. He never would.
I thought you were cheap, but he's
cheap us. That's where I learned it from. Coach Campbell's pretty good. I tell you what, he's taking care of me a lot of times.
I know.
Do you want to buy lunch today or?
No, you were supposed to buy me lunch the last 3 weeks.
I've been busy. All right, what do you got for us locally?
Well, first of all, I know Coach Hammond. They came in second, but that's not bad to be first and second in 2 years in the soccer. And then Coach Threet from Rutherford. She took the Lady Rams as far as anybody as I know of, and the ladies has gone, and she is leaving to go. Her plans are to go to Virginia, I believe, and I believe she's getting married. But you know what? What a great coach! She She played at Rutherford, related with the kids. You know what a great job she did. You know, she started out when a lot of them were freshmen, and she's just tried to improve. That was her motto, just improve. So. Shout out to her. I wanted to just tell you, there's only one big baseball game tonight. Coach knows that. Arnold, Bozeman's at Arnold. That starts at 7 o'clock.
Yeah, that's a big one.
And so we did have some games yesterday in baseball. And as you know, Wednesday is really not a scheduled day for a lot of events. So, but last night in baseball, Bay got beat by North Bay Haven 11-0. And I always thought this is a good one, Coach. South Walton beat Tippy Canoe.
Tippy's pretty tough now.
Yeah, and they had a guy named Tyler, Tippy Canoe and Tyler too. But Tippy Canoe is from Ohio. Tip, Ohio is the name of the school. So they won 9-5.
It's not too far from Cleveland, Tip, Ohio. Yeah.
And then Tiff County, Georgia beat Port St. Joe 15-3 last night in baseball. Softball last night, it was, get this, Bethlehem 24, Bay 20. So that was I don't know if that was a track meet or a softball game. So.
Sounds like a football game.
Yeah. So, but anyway, then last night, also Bozeman 12, Chipping 2 in softball. North Bay Haven 13, Port St. Joe 7, and Weewaw. I tell you what, Weewaw for 1A school can get it. Now, Weewaw 9, Mariana 3, and Mariana usually has a great softball team also. Yeah. I don't have the score from the Rams in Walton County and also the Arnold team versus South Walton. I think Arnold's like 9-2 or something.
Yeah,
so
Rick's got rolling
game,
over there.
Big time, yeah. And then can't say enough about their baseball team. It's a big game tonight, and so if you want to get out and see some good baseball.
In that baseball game, Bozeman beat them at Bozeman, and now it's the games we play at Arnold.
Bozeman lost. Bozeman beat them 4-3.
Yeah, that's what I mean. That's what Bozeman beat Arnold.
Yeah, it's a big game tonight.
So now it's Arnold's chance to get revenge.
The two freshman pitchers are start really carrying them along, and so. I think is it Coach Jones? Is that who?
Yeah,
Coach Jones. Yeah,
did a really good job.
So,
from California. Yeah.
See, almost as old as we are. You know what I'm saying?
So, what about how many baseball players? We have a hard time getting the baseball. If they played baseball and football, we didn't care about them coming out spring practice. So you got many baseball players?
Well, actually, I had 3 more come to me yesterday. Said they're going to come out. So I told them to focus on baseball for the spring, and when baseball's over. Yeah, come see me and we'll work it out. That's traditionally how I've done it. I'm not going to get into making a kid have to decide or feel like he's being alienated because got 2 things going on at once. So he's already in season. So, I think we're going to have 4 or 5 baseball players come out and play this year. So I'm excited.
Good.
Coach, I got a shout out to North Bay Haven girls and Bay boys. They are the tennis champions in the so.
All right. Good job. Good job. And we always wanted the Bay County. I always wanted to see a Bay County tournament, baseball tournament. It won't work out because all the schedules.
They can only play so many games. And,
Now the girls softball got it done, and I don't want to brag, but the Arnold Marlins did win it. They beat North Bay Haven for the championship, so they're having a great year. They got an unbelievable pitcher over there. She's really something special.
If you don't have one, you're in trouble.
Speaking about in trouble, you got moved into the East, which I. Hated going over that bridge certain times of the year. You're in there with Lincoln, right?
Yeah, Lincoln and Rickards.
That's pretty 2 athletic teams. Talk about that. Did you think about maybe trying to go west, or did you say, heck, let's just stay with it?
Really, going west would have put us in the same place we've been. So
who's in the west?
There's West Florida's over there, Pensacola's over there.
Same.
Choctaw, that bunch over there.
Was Pine Forest in there?
They're actually down 1. They're in 2A.
They're down. So, wow.
I actually petitioned to go to 2A so I could get in the local with Bay, with Rutherford, with North Bay Haven, South Walton would have been us for 5. But they didn't approve it because we said we have too many kids. So
How many kids were you over?
like 48.
Wow.
So
that's really not a lot.
No, it's not. But you know, the rules are the rules, and they are what they are. So we're going to be in there with Rickards and Lincoln, which is good and bad. I mean, obviously you got to travel to. The bad part is I got to travel one week to Tallahassee, but with the fuel prices and bus prices, the bus prices have doubled since last year.
Yeah.
So we just found that out the other day. So, but other than that, we got 8 weeks of schedule. Try as many local people as we can and do as best we can. So
that's the reason I think the state's got to realize that. I wish they would cut back the percentage amount of money they get from the high school teams because let's like you said, right now to go anywhere it costs you twice as much with the gas.
I'm waiting to bring out the electric buses.
That'd be a good idea, Coach. You need to invent that.
Plug it into the wall.
Well, I already got a 2-story trailer, so
Unbelievable. Now, have you got the schedule made? Have y'all had a district meeting yet with those two schools?
Yeah, we met with them last week. So
how are you going to do this? Are you going to go there one time, one coming over here?
Yeah, I'm going. Lincoln's coming here, and then I'm going to Rickards this year, and then it'll be vice versa the following year.
Have you completed your schedule yet?
I've got 9 regular season and one. I need one more game. I'm working on the weeks right now. I've had some people interested. So we're almost done. Almost done. We've got Mosley, we've got Bay, we've got Rutherford, we've got North Bay Haven, Fort Walton Beach, South Walton.
Sounds good.
Walton County, is that it? Just a regular Walton, or is that
South Walton?
No, South Walton and Fort Walton Beach.
Yeah, but I meant.
I talked to Coach at Walton. We haven't found the common day, comments. So I got one more. Other than that, then we got our district. So
yeah.
I feel good. I really do. I feel like our progress is going in the right direction. Our kids are working hard. We're excitement. We got a lot of kids back from last year that were green and really didn't have a lot of reps, and their confidence is there. You can see a difference in their leadership ability. So we're excited for the fall. We really are. We're going to go rowing in there and see what happens. So.
I was trying to think out west. Is Choctaw in y'all's district? No, Choctaw. What is Choctaw now? They gone down or up?
I think they're 2A. I don't remember. I haven't really memorized all the districts since they've redone them from the urban to the
we used
to
to play Choctaw the well. That usually was a good game. I didn't realize they had gone down.
Yeah, I tried to get Frank. I called Frank to see if he could play, but we didn't have.
Now that's a new coach there?
Yeah, Frank Beasley. Yeah, he used to be in charge of FHSA, the football end of it at one point. So
okay,
he went back there to decide he wanted to finish his career coaching.
Did they keep Coach Thomas on as the athletic director? Do you know?
I do not know.
Glenn, you remember he was trying to do that in that county. The AD is the head football coach.
Yeah,
and he was trying to make it where I think they wanted him to stay on and be the AD.
I don't know if he did or not. He's the guy that called me professional and unprofessional in one sentence. So.
Yeah, he's a pretty intelligent guy.
Well, that's when I had Choctaw and them moved up because
they came into a meeting one time and I was shocked how rudely we treated Choctaw, the guy in charge.
Well, I told him he wasn't supposed to be in that meeting.
Yes, you did. He was there making a schedule for us when he was supposed to have been playing up in a different level. What were they, about 100, 200 kids bigger than every school in our room?
But he had done that in North Carolina also. So, Coach.
Did you not go to the state about this? Did you not?
Oh, yeah,
we went. The reason Choctaw had to go?
Yeah, me and Coach Hale went over there, and he was not happy to see me at that meeting.
Yeah.
So, but we had the BRAC report, which is whether the military is moving into. It tells how much the military affects the community, and so Eglin was adding another squadron, so that was going to put about 700 more people on the. I call it the reservation, but they it showed the impact of the people coming in. So they thought, well, if these people come in, you guys will have to stay up there. So they weren't happy. So
well.
That's the way it goes.
He's also the one that used to, behind the scenes, I found out later, he would look at the numbers on Panama City Beach during spring break. He sent that into the state also. We had to explain to him that only happens in 1 or 2 months. Yeah, but anyway, all right, we get back. We got to call Dr. Ward, talk to him. Glenn, you've been to all these great places. We ought to go to J. Michael's today. You know?
Yeah.
We ought to go there and get that spaghetti today. But let's think about Chuck Tucker. If you go to closing, who are you going to use?
I'm going to use Tucker.
You're going to demand South Oak Thailand closing. You know why? You don't want any surprises. Nobody does a better job than Chuck. Go by and see him. They got 2 offices.
Right.
Back Beach and also right over here off 79. They do a great job. South Oak Title and Closing. Don't forget about Bay Point Golf. You want a golf tournament, you want to make money just like Arnold does, Mosley, all the big boys, all the smart, intelligent people know to go to Bay Point and have a golf tournament. They also know to go, like Glenn Manley, join Bay Point and be
Right.
Now, you did join, right?
I did.
Yeah, you're pretty dang good. Really good golfer.
They made me an offer I couldn't refuse.
Get out there and call Ryan, make an appointment. You have to kind of schedule out. Don't put it off. Bay Point. And, Coach, also, Bay Point, I got to take you out there during the summertime on Friday and Saturdays now. They're going to be open at night. So we don't have to go wait in line for an hour somewhere else. We can go there and eat quickly, inside, outside. It's unbelievable. TVs everywhere. They're going to have a band. It's going to be cool, man.
Got pretty good prime rib on Thursday night.
Yeah, they do. They have every Thursday they have something different. It's been fantastic.
Rib. Sometimes they'll have fried chicken. It's really good. Bay Point Golf. Also, Dr. Mitchell, 22 years on Bay County sidelines. If you get injured, you don't have to be a great athlete. Go see Chad.
And
He'll take care of you.
I'm thinking about some real estate, but I'm not. Who would you go see?
Oh, man, you know who I'd go see.
Oh, that's right.
Yes, sir. I think real estate, you know who I'm going to see. Who's that?
You're going to see Mr. Shields.
Yeah, 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
I was going to say Cody, but I was going to tell him something else.
It's here. The 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida app version 2.0. Now featuring ultra high fidelity. You'll feel like you're in the game. Plus, more opportunities to win weekly prizes from local businesses when you click it to win it. Download the 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida app today at Google Play or the Apple Store.
Dr. Chad Mitchell, orthopedic surgeon specializing in sports medicine and joint replacement of the knee, shoulder, and hip. He serves our local athletes and our community. Southern Orthopedic Specialist has been the leader in orthopedic care for over 20 years. New patients are welcome. Call 850-769-KNEE to schedule an appointment. More about Dr. Mitchell and Southern Orthopedic Specialist is available on their website, southernorthopedic.com. Southern Orthopedic, getting you back in the game.
Hi, this is Coach James Hale. Keeping your car looking great is easy as 1, 2, 3 at Blue Sky Express Car Wash. By joining their monthly wash club, you'll get the best bang for your buck. In just 2 car washes, your monthly membership pays for itself, starting at only $19.99 a month. What are you waiting for? Become a member today at Blue Sky Express Car Wash on Back Beach Road next to Home Depot. Tell them Coach Hale sent you.
Are you ready for the best pizza in Bay County? It's Paparazzi Gourmet Deli with over 100 years of recipes passed down through 4 generations. Paparazzi Gourmet specializes in New York and authentic Italian-American specialties from the deli, prepared foods, and of course, pizza. They even cater for all occasions. Click paparazzigourmetdeli.com to check out their daily specials. Come taste the difference at Paparazzi Gourmet Deli, Thomas Drive next to Goodwill on Panama City Beach. Call 850-588-8244 for fast pickup and DoorDash.
The Coach James Hale Show is live and local from the J. Michaels studio.
Boss, I got good news and bad news. What's the bad news? Your hat's on fire.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
Randy, good music day.
Yes, sir.
104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. We got Coach Campbell and the legendary Glenn Manley here today. And we bring on another local legend. Man, heck, I wouldn't say local. I'd say the Northwest Florida. Heck, he's in good shape with the governor. He's up in Tallahassee every other weekend. Dr. Ward, how you doing, sir?
Doing great, Coach. How are you and Glenn doing today?
I'm doing good. I bet you were happy that your Gators whipped the Seminoles in baseball last night.
Yeah, I saw that. I was pleased. It was good to recover from dropping our home series to LSU over the weekend.
Well, the Seminoles were number 5, but after this loss, I'm not sure what's going to happen.
Yeah. I think we've done pretty well over the last few years against Florida State, but it looks like Florida State's going to have a good team.
Yeah, they're doing well.
We'll see how it goes.
Yep. Well, they play 100 games a year, so.
Coach, Dr. Ward?
Yes.
Okay, let me. I'm here at time. Give me 1 second. All right, now it's better. Let me ask you something. How was your vacation?
I tell you, man, it was awesome. We were over in London. We decided to go as soon as they dropped all their mask and vaccine and all that sort of stuff. And now is the time. If you can, as soon as a country or a place you want to go to drops all that stuff, go and enjoy the heck out of it, because once people figure out you can travel and have fun again, you'll have long lines everywhere you want to go. But we got there before people have figured it out, and it was a lot of fun. We saw a play in the Shakespeare Globe Theater. We saw the Windsor Castle, and it was just us, Westminster Abbey. It was just a phenomenal spring break, and fortunately the kids are old enough now to really appreciate all the history over there.
I heard you were with Lord Grantham. I heard y'all guys got together.
You know, I didn't get my handwritten invitation to Downton Abbey, but next time.
Yeah, they like you. They've talked about you. I've watched it on TV. You're well known, no doubt about that. Hey, I got to ask you. We haven't talked to you in a while. What about your Gator basketball coach, Coach White? What's the deal? He leaves. He leaves to go to Georgia. Is Georgia envy? Is that Georgia envy? What is that?
That is Georgia taking our trash, basically.
Oh my God! Well, why do you say that?
Mike White was getting fired, and he knew he was getting fired, and so I guess to save face, he found a school that'd be willing to take a floundering basketball coach. Look, for a school like Georgia, Mike White may be an upgrade. I mean, they haven't had a relevant basketball team that I can ever even recall. So, maybe going 500 in the SEC that's probably an upgrade for Georgia. But yeah, I don't know any Gator fan that wasn't ecstatic to see that Mike White was going to Georgia.
Yeah.
I guess since the last time they really had a great program was when Durham was there. As far,
yeah.
But you'll know there's 2 ACC teams in the Final Four.
That ACC is
I just want let y'all know y'all stick to football.
I know it. We ran our mouth about how good SEC basketball was, and then we found out real quick we were just pretenders. Yeah, that was shocking. I thought we were really good in basketball.
You had some good teams in there.
Against
really.
each other. Against each other we looked good. Then we got outside.
Like Arkansas really played well.
Yeah.
But eventually you're going to run into people who've been there a while. And if this is your first time in there, it's a whole different thing. It's a lot different pressure on you.
Dr. Ward, let me ask you this. Is Billy Napier worried that they might try to bring Kirby in from Georgia and show him the door? Is there any truth to that?
What? I heard it.
Well, I mean, try to get him back.
That's right.
No, I don't. I think Billy's doing a great job so far. I love what I'm reading from the recruiting side of things. And it looks like we have a lot of the top players in this upcoming class, giving Florida some serious looks. So, I think for all them Florida State fans out there, that if Florida State doesn't improve this year and beat Florida this year, while we're making this transition, it may not happen for a long, long time.
Yeah, Glenn, I want to ask you about that. Seriously, I agree with him. Florida State really needs to take care of business this year with Florida.
I think they will. They're getting some people that have seen the writing on the wall. They're getting in the transfer portal.
Yeah.
And I tell you what, they have got. I don't know. I haven't seen practice yet, but they have got some linemen now. They've run out and got the linemen, offense and defensive linemen, and he's done so good in the transfer portal that he's got a couple of defensive linemen to come in and an offensive running back out of Oregon. So. We'll see what goes on with that.
The thing about Billy Napier, he's been with the GOAT. He's been with Saban. They know how they run it up there as far as recruiting. They've got the money at Florida to get it done. And, Coach, Dr. Ward, that $100 million standalone football facility is going to be opened up pretty soon. That's going to help in recruiting.
I bet he mentions it when, like
Dan
the former coach. Dan never said
brought it up. Yeah. So you're right about recruiting Florida. We got Mark McLeod come on at 8:30 today, but you're right about recruiting. Everywhere you look, they're top players. Even the kid from Thompson, Mitchell, out of Thompson, Alabama, the 5-star cornerback, he's got Florida in his top 5, and that surprised me. So they're doing a good job.
Yeah, Napier is doing everything he said he was going to do. We haven't seen him coach a football game yet, but at least on doing what he can do, he seems to be doing a great job so far.
We got Coach Campbell with us this morning, the head football coach from Arnold High School. He still knows all these guys. He's still in the business. What's your thoughts on Billy Napier? You think he gets it done at Florida?
He's been a winner wherever he's been. I actually coached against him when he was in high school with his dad in North Georgia. I watched his career, and as he goes through, he just progressively gets better and better and better. And I think he'll get it done. I'll be honest with you, as a Georgia fan, I was not fired up to see him go to Florida.
Yeah.
But, they hired a good one, and to make that Georgia-Florida rivalry good again, I think that's good for football. So.
All right. That sounds pretty good, doesn't it, Dr. Ward?
It sounds good to me.
Hey, we got to switch gears real quick. I thought, there was a video. I thought it was you for just a second, and I found out it wasn't this guy from Montgomery down here tearing up the beach. But we got, I saw a couple of those guys that were arrested actually went to Lanier High School in Montgomery, Alabama, which I happen to go to. So I had a friend of mine that sent that to me. I said, thank you so much. I'm so proud.
Didn't they take your plan book and they use it?
Yeah. In fact, no, we weren't that bad.
No.
But what about, a lot of those guys were arrested before in Bay County, and they're back down here doing something again. Doesn't these judges need to realize, hey, they made a mistake? They made, make it where they don't want to ever get in trouble again?
I think that the citizenry of Bay County should write the state attorney, should write the judges letters and tell them that these hoodlums need to be made examples of, and they need to throw the book at them and lock the key away and basically show people, if you're going to come down to Panama City, Bay County and cause trouble, that you're going to spend a lot of time in jail. And until stuff like that happens, if you do this catch and release nonsense that you see in other parts of the country.
Well, maybe they think they're fishing instead of putting them in jail.
Yeah. You don't want to treat criminals like the fish. That's for sure.
Well, if anybody can get this done, it's you.
Yep, absolutely.
You know how to do it. We need you.
It starts with the public showing that they won't tolerate it. And remember, judges are elected and state attorneys are elected. So once the voters get motivated and write letters, you'll start seeing a change.
Yeah. Well, hey, believe me, they're motivated on Panama City Beach. There's some upset people over there. I've never seen people upset like this before. Lived there for 22, 23 years, and they're really upset. And I've heard a lot of them say that these people in the city government in Panama City Beach, they don't get it figured out. We're going to get somebody in there that can. So I think it's going to get better. I really think we've seen the worst of it. I think things will get better. But I tell you what, I do want to give another shout out to police officers here. They did an incredible job. They are the
all
best,
over Bay County. The whole, everybody.
Yeah, no, the sheriff's department.
It's absolutely amazing that they managed to get through that weekend and nobody got shot and killed.
Yeah.
I mean, that is, there was a shooting, but I saw those guns and I could not believe it. I was like, what in the world went on? Crazy.
Yeah, I want to get back to Florida. What do you think? What's your opinion? What do you believe? You've been watching cover Gators all the time. What's just pick out one thing that's got to improve at Florida? I know what mine is. What's yours? One area that Florida has to improve in to have a chance to be successful in 2022.
The one thing we got to improve on is tackling and playing defense and getting discipline. I mean, that LSU game last year was just a complete and utter joke. I mean, we could not. I mean, who had ever heard of that Edwards-Elaire kid before the Florida game? Because I think he ran for like 280 yards against us. So, you gotta be able to
So you would say, in general, defense has to improve.
Absolutely.
Okay. That's a good answer. I didn't think that through. I wrote down quarterback play. I am hearing good things about Richardson, though, as far as leadership ability, that he's really stepped it up. Not just what he's doing as a player, but vocally, being loud as a leader, which you got to have. Coach, you know that to have a good football team, you better have some great leaders. Mm-hmm. And evidently, he's trying to turn into one. So that's a good thing. But I thought I had to pick out one area. I said quarterback. And you might be right, though. What do you think? Would it be quarterback or would it be defense?
Nah, they're going to have to play better on the offense and defensive line. If you look at the SEC teams that are successful week in and week out, they've got great offensive linemen, they've got great defensive linemen.
You got to pick one side of the ball.
I would say defensive line.
Yeah, well, you and Ward, you guys are smart. Glenn, what would you think? Have you watched the Gators?
Yeah, unfortunately I have. But the thing, really, how much do you improve with a new coach from the first game to the first SEC game? How much will you improve? Because, they didn't improve a whole lot when Dan was there.
Right.
So I would think, you got these kids here, and then if Coach got the other line, I got the other side of the line too. But I just think if you have to have some improvement that gives them confidence and, that sort of thing. Did they buy into the program? Did they do all that stuff?
All right, we got a break coming up. We'll get back. We'll finish up with Dr. Ward is back in town. Glenn Manley's with us. Coach Campbell, Arnold High School football coach, with us also. Let's talk about Blue Sky Express Car Wash. Glenn, you want your vehicle to look brand new. Where are you going to go?
Blue Sky. I'm telling you, I'm headed that way today. So
the Blue Sky Marlins do a great job, don't they?
They're one of our corporate sponsors. They do
right down the road.
Right down the road. Come on.
If you're on Bat Beach Road, you're heading out to Pier Park, take a ride on Alf Coleman, take your next right. It's right there. Blue Sky Express Car Wash, they do an incredible job. Also, Rudy's Tooties, Rudy's Barbecue, Back Beach Road. Go try it. You'll love it. We need to have pregame meals from there.
Well, I text you, they sponsor our family meal night on Wednesday night. Rudy's do a great job.
They bring it to you?
They bring it to us. Texas Roadhouse, Golden Corral, Culver's, and it's all free. They donate it. Because we have a family meal every Wednesday night.
Well, we need to get, I'm going to talk to you about something later.
We need to be part of the family.
Yeah.
You are. You just got to show up.
I will.
Now it's free. We'll be there.
The last time I invited Coach Manley, he went and got COVID, had to go to the hospital.
That's right.
So I'm not inviting him anymore.
Yeah, don't ask me again.
Well, he'll show up in his Bay stuff. That's the only thing
That's all right.
Anyway. No, I won't do that.
Max Fit Sports Nutrition. You'll look better, feel better. You want an edge. I know Mosley has got their football players over there, their coaches over there. I think some other coaches. Coach, I don't know if you've done it or not. You all need to go see Max Fit Sports Nutrition, Jason Kovaleski. It helps you get the edge. The guy does an incredible job. Dr. Ward, what's the best way to get up with you? If you're listening right now in Northwest Florida, 1 in 5 develop skin cancer. Do not play around. What do we got to do to get in to see Dr. Ward?
You give us a call at 233-3376. We got 1 of 7 convenient locations in the listening area in Port St. Joe, Panama City Beach, Santa Rosa Beach, Defuniak Springs, Bonifay, and Mariana. So if you can hear us, you can get your skin checked. 5 minutes could save your life.
Amen.
Do you just go one day you're in Mariana, one day you're in Port St. Joe?
No, I don't go to all those locations. We
He
got,
sends me
4 or 5 doctors, and no, I go to Panama City, I go to Mariana, and that's it in this listening area.
Okay.
All right, you got Coach Campbell with us. We got Glenn Manley. Dr. Ward, be right back. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Good Wednesday morning, a blend of sun and clouds in the mid-70s. Today, a windy day, a south wind up to 35 miles per hour. There's a high surf advisory in effect through Thursday. And it looks like a chance of showers and thunderstorms overnight. Windy, could be a severe thunderstorm overnight, the low near 67. More showers and thunderstorms Thursday. This weather forecast has been brought to you by Offord Tire and Service Center in Callaway. For 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida, I'm meteorologist Tim Root.
104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida, the Paul Feinbaum Show.
The top sports radio show in the country. I didn't say in the South. I said in the country. They need to give on out for the sports talk show. You know you'd win it.
You need to really be entertaining. You need to be more upbeat.
More animated, more energetic, right?
Exactly. You're picking up on it now. Love it. You got it. You're coming through. You got it, baby.
I think we can save this show.
Weekday evening, 6 to 10, ESPN Northwest Florida.
Ben and Deb Collins, owners of Bay Guns and Gear, have been in business since 2010, offering new firearms and accessories with a huge selection available for your hunting needs and personal defense. Turn to Bay Guns and Gear. They have the weapon for you. Discount pricing. And if you can't find what you're looking for, they'll special order it for you. Bay Guns and Gear, across from Grease Pro at 3115 Highway 77. Visit their website, baygunsandgear.com.
Nothing beats March Madness. The pure sound of a swish, the rattle of a slam dunk, the fans on their feet for the big moments. And the action just keeps getting better until a national champion is crowned. Hear all the action with Westwood One's exclusive coverage of this year's NCAA tournament, right here.
Listen in a rich audio experience you can only get on 104.3 ESPN, Northwest Florida.
Welcome to It's the Coach James Hale Show.
But I believe diversity is an old wooden ship that was used during the Civil War era.
Live from the J. Michael Studio, 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
And welcome back to 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. We got Dr. Ward with us this morning. All right, Doc, let's get into SEC football. Georgia Bulldogs. What the question? Same thing we asked you about Florida. What's one concern you've watched Georgia play a lot? What is the number one question this spring for the Georgia Bulldogs?
I believe they're losing a lot of starters, so I would just, the question would be, have they developed their players to step up and replace and reload? That's always the question. Alabama seems to have got it figured out. Let's see if Georgia's figured it out.
Yeah, I had down how they replace those great defensive players. A lot of those guys are going to be going off to the NFL. Coach, you're from Georgia. You watched them play this past year. What's one concern you have for Georgia that you think needs to be answered in springtime?
How are they going to handle the transition from the defensive side?
Yeah.
I mean, replacing those guys is – and some of them you're not going to replace, but some of them you're going to do the best you can. So I think it's if the younger guys can step up and they've got some depth on the defensive side of the ball, they'll have a chance. They
remind me a lot of that team at Alabama and LSU have got the year. They were both unbelievable. They played twice for the championship, SEC championship in Tuscaloosa, and the national championship in the Sugar Bowl. That type of defense, they're going to have so many guys off that defense go into the NFL. Well, do you think that's one of the best defenses ever?
Yeah, it's got to be in the top five. Yeah. I mean, in all the years we've watched it, they were so physical at the point of attack, and their speed at the second level was phenomenal. I mean, it's probably as good as I've seen in a long time. So, but yeah, I would say in the top five.
Let me ask you this: what's the danger of Florida? Well, Georgia. I'm trying to get Dr. Ward upset. What is the concern of Georgia Bulldog fans playing Florida next year? Should they worry at all, or just like, hey, it doesn't matter? We're Georgia, they're Florida.
Being a football coach and being smart enough to say the right things at the right time, I'm going to say yes. They better worry.
But Georgia fans might be something different.
Maybe some of our fans are a little bit different thought process. So.
Yeah, you didn't win the right 10 games. That's right.
I looked up Georgia's schedule, Dr. Ward. They got it made. I mean, their schedule's set up nicely. For another run. We got Texas.
You got Austin Peay.
Well, Austin Peay's pretty good.
Yeah, for the league they're in.
Yeah. Doc, you there?
I'm here.
He passed out when you said something.
I know. Doc didn't shy away now. What do you think that ball game next year? For Florida even have a shot against the mighty Georgia Bulldogs?
There's only one shot they got, and it's with an AR-15. and it will require phenomenal quarterback play, and if Anthony Richardson is healthy, watch out. I mean, that kid is phenomenal, and he can make plays like nobody's business, and it would require him to have the game of his life. And he'd also need some receivers to step up, which, of course, was an issue for us last year, too. I do think we're going to have a great running game with both the quarterback running and our tailbacks. I think we've got a lot of talent there at running back. I actually even think our offensive line is going to be all right. On offense, I worry about the receiver position and being one-dimensional and just running all the time. But and then of course the defense is who knows what we're going to see on defense.
I think defense, you're going to be surprised. I think Florida's got great speed. They've always had great team speed. I think defense, they're going to be in pretty good shape. I like the coaching staff he's put together. He's going to get it done. You ain't got to worry about that. Let's look at Georgia's schedule real quick. I really think it sets up nicely. Now, the first game is against Oregon in Atlanta, more or less a home game.
The only thing I'm worried about Georgia is during spring practice they started to get some injuries. So I hope that
it's because they're so physical.
Right. I just hope they don't have to sit out the first 3 or 4 games.
The second game, now they got the powerhouse Sanford from Birmingham. Then they got South Carolina. So that's 3 wins right there, in my opinion. And then Kent State, that's a win. Mississippi State, that's a win. Kentucky's got a good little ball club.
Yeah.
The quarterback's coming back. That'll be a tough game, and the game's on the road. But I still think talent-wise, it's not even close who they got.
Wait on that, man. I think that Kentucky game, you got to look out for that. I mean, that's going to be the first good team.
I'm sorry, that's a home game.
Road. Oh, never mind.
Yeah. As a matter of fact, I screwed this thing completely up. This is their home schedule. This is their home games. No, I didn't. I hit the button too quick. Wait a minute. I'll get it right in a minute. Kent State. Okay, they got Kent State September 24th. Then they've got Missouri. They still going to beat Missouri.
Yeah,
they still got better players in Missouri. And that game is where? In Missouri. So maybe I still feel good about that. Then Auburn. Auburn's going through some difficulties right now, but that's a big rival game. It's at home. I feel good about Georgia with that one. Then Vandy at home.
That's a scary one.
Yeah. Then they got Florida. They go into the Florida game, I think, undefeated. Y'all feel pretty good about that? Everybody agree?
I hope so.
Pretty much.
I would
if
hope
they get
so.
by Oregon, they should be at the Oregon's really the toughest game they got in Florida. Now, everybody's giving Tennessee a lot of love. They got Tennessee at home after the Gainesville, after Jacksonville,
Tennessee's
Florida.
getting better. I really think Tennessee's going to put themselves back on the map here before it's over.
Yeah, and they just got a quarterback, the biggest contract. I got to ask you something about that later. Then they've got Mississippi State, then Kentucky at Lexington. Then they've got Georgia Tech at home. I think their schedule sets up nicely compared to the other teams in the SEC.
Yeah, that's an easy schedule right there. I mean, I hate to say any SEC schedule is easy, but that's got to be the easiest one out there.
Yeah, it is set up pretty nice. And you look at Texas A&M schedule; they got a chance maybe to win the SEC West. They got Georgia. They got Miami at home.
Right.
Then they can play all the teams in the SEC West, which is very difficult compared to the East. So it's going to be tough. Alabama's got Texas and then the SEC West, so it's going to be tough, man. But I do believe Bama's going to be pretty good this year.
Yeah, you would think so. I mean, the last, 15 years they've been pretty good.
Yeah. Now, Doc, Florida's schedule's a little bit tougher than that. They got LSU. Who's the other one they got? Texas A&M? No, it's not Texas A&M. Who's the other crossover game?
I can't remember, but we play Utah at home for the first. I think our game against Utah is much more challenging than Georgia's game against Oregon. Oregon's got a new coaching staff, whereas Utah was a Pac-10 champion and with many of the same players and all the same coaches. So.
Yeah. All right, Doc. We're gonna be able to get you next week.
I'll be here.
All right. Was y'all spring break? Never mind. I'll talk to you about that later. But I went and saw Doc. Let me tell you something. I went and saw Doc yesterday. They do an incredible job there. They really do. They got a large staff, friendly. They work extremely hard. Really enjoyed the young lady that took care of me before you came in there. She did a great job. Heck, you about killed me, but everybody else was pretty good.
Well, hey, we have the best patience too, Coach.
Yeah.
That's what I got to say. We got a great staff, but it's because we have the absolute best patience. Love you guys. We couldn't deliver the good care if we didn't have such good patience to take care of.
No, you really, truly, you do a great job. Got a great company down there. Now, he did tell me, he said, don't move, because if you move, it's going to hurt, and you're going to get some good tissue that you shouldn't. Well, I moved, but I didn't. He did one thing, and I listened to him. He slapped me pretty good, and after that, I held myself still. I didn't move. That's good technique you got there.
Did you ask for the coach's discount?
Yeah, he gave it to me. Yeah. All right, Doc. We'll call in next Wednesday.
7:30.
Sounds good, man.
All right, buddy. Dr. Ward.
Dr. Ward, yep.
I should have asked him again. If you're listening to Northwest Florida, there's an office near you. Go see Dr. Ward. 1 in 5 develop skin cancer. Do not play around with that stuff. Also, Paparazzi Gourmet Deli, the best pizza in Panama City. Hey, the best pizza anywhere. 3 restaurants in one. They've got the Glen Manley dessert counter, which is unbelievable. Napoleon. I think they named that Napoleon after you.
Yeah, because
it's
short. Yeah, I'm short. Yeah.
I try to get them to do that. But I'm telling you, it's the best pizza. John does a great job down there. Go by and try it. You'll love it. Don't forget about Jason Kovaleski, Max Fit Sports Nutrition. We'll be right back. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida is your exclusive home for the Final Four. Catch all the excitement of college basketball's premier event right here.
And the dream is alive! Final Four coverage begins Saturday at 3:30. Sponsored by Bill Bird Kia, Reliable Hydraulic Solutions, Ellis Agency Insurance, Panama City Toyota, and ESPN Northwest Florida.
Let your spring adventure begin at Bill Bird Kia. Stop by today to discover why everyone is talking about the award-winning Kia. Now offering 1.9% APR up to 48 months on the purchase of a 2022 Kia Forte, K5, Soul, or Sorrento. Bill Bird Kia is not only the home of the 20-year, 200,000-mile warranty, they're the home of the best customer experience anywhere. Stop by and see us at 2435 East 15th Street or anytime at BillBirdKia.com. We make buying a car easy, and you'll enjoy the way we do business.
Offer from KMF for the purchase of a new 2022 Forte, K5, Soul, and Sorrento with $21.65 per month per 1,000 financed in 48 months. Quality is limited. No down payment required. Cannot be combined with other finance offers. The 20-year, 200,000-mile warranty is a Bill Bird Kia warranty. See dealer for complete details. Offer for well-qualified buyers. Must take delivery from dealer stock through 4/4/22.
Go home for college basketball. Powered by Pepsi. WGSX in Haven, Panama City. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Sykes Concrete has been in business in this area since 1947, and 3 generations later, they're still going strong. See Sykes Concrete for dirt, sand, rock, and concrete. They can handle any size job from the smallest to the largest. Sykes Concrete pays CDL truck drivers some of the highest wages in Bay County, making $50,000 to $75,000 a year, including holiday and vacation pay, plus health insurance. See Hugh Sykes at Sykes Concrete, 8030 Highway 77 on the right, just north of Southport Elementary School.
Put down your natural light. It's time for the Alabama Update. The Alabama Update, weekday mornings at 8. On the Coach James Hale Show at 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Roll Tide Roll. Alabama Update brought to you by Stevenson Air Conditioning. Hey, anytime, day or night, you have an issue, heating or cooling, call Stevenson Air Conditioning. They'll be out there as soon as they possibly can. They'll solve all issues. They are the sponsor of the Alabama Update. All right, Coach, Alabama Crimson Tide. They got their clinic coming up. I got the people they're going to have there, but I don't even want to go into that today. They had a guy that wrote an article. They said 5 reasons Alabama will win the national championship in 2022. Number 5, leadership. I don't know if you kept up with Saban or Bama. I know you're real busy during the season. Probably not. But we talked about it quite a bit, especially Jeremy Pridgeon, which is on tomorrow. He covers Bama he covers everything about the Crimson Tide. And last year, Saban had to get on the team several times, more than I can remember ever, talked about work ethic. And what he was talking about, the lack of leadership from that football team this past year. They were a young football team, but they didn't have the leadership at all, really, on either side of the ball. This year is going to be different. They're talking about, the players are talking about, they said Bryce Young, the Heisman Trophy winner, is kind of taking over that role on the offense side of the ball. Been a great leader so far. He was young last year, first-time starter, quiet kind of personality. He's coming out of the shell now. He's being more vocal. And they say Will Anderson, too, the All-American outside linebacker that's going to be one of the best players, not the best player in the country next year in 2022. He has been a really vocal leader. He's come out of his shell. He even talked about it. I feel comfortable about taking this role, the next step.
And he says, I am going to be leading this football team. So that's your two leaders, something they didn't have last year. So I do think that's a big thing. And you can talk about high school level. Yeah. If you don't have great kids with great leadership, it's hard to get it done.
Well, if you're going to be coach-driven all the time, you can be a good football team. But if you're not player-driven, that means if the kids aren't running the program and holding each other accountable, you'll never be at the highest level. It just doesn't happen.
Absolutely. And number 4 for the Crimson Tide, what they said, the return of the 2021 players are coming back, impact players. Alabama's got about like 8 guys coming back on defense. They played a lot of guys in there. They feel really comfortable about it. They think defense, they got a chance to be something special. Supposed to the outside linebackers, inside linebackers got a chance to be really good. They got the Heisman Trophy quarterback coming back. A lot of the offensive linemen are coming back. They got the kid from Georgia Tech, the running back that they think is outstanding. So they've got some guys that can make plays. They got a lot of guys coming back. And you talk about that helps when you got people come, especially at quarterback. Mm-hmm. They already know your system. You don't have to go spend a lot of time with them. Talk about how important it is having people coming back, especially at the skill positions.
The continuity of a team really comes from experience. And when you have experienced guys coming back, there's confidence in there. You don't spend as much time teaching as you do learning on the fly, and you can make more adjustments, and you're able to impact and move forward on both sides of the ball if you've got experienced guys that know the system. And when they come in, you're not telling them what to do all the time. And that makes a huge difference, and it breeds confidence. I mean, the kids walk on the field on Friday night, and they've been doing it for 2 or 3 years. They're different cats than they are when they start their first year.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely. And number 3, this is kind of like what's going on in high school football now. We saw a lot down in South Florida back in 2013, this school of choice where kids just going wherever they wanted to go. And down there, Coach, there was no sitting out. You had guys playing football at one school, the same kid playing basketball or baseball at another school in the same calendar year. Things I never thought would happen in this state. It was going on. And now we see it in college football. You got to embrace it, or you can complain about it all you want, but it's here. There's nothing you can do about it. At Alabama, Saban took advantage of it. They needed a running back. They lost Robinson. So what did they do? They went and got the number 1 running back that's transferring out of Georgia Tech, which gives an unbelievable football player. I was talking to some guys up there when they were getting ready for Georgia. They told me, we can't tackle the guy. I mean, he's tearing up the damn first-team defense. And Saban's praise, and if Saban praises you, you're really good. And he's talked about this young man, how good he is. He can catch, he can run, he can pass block. He's a total package. That's going to make the running back position better. That's what they needed. So they targeted that. They took care of that situation. Receivers, we don't know yet who the receivers are going to be. But they say that Burton from Georgia, the kid transferred from Georgia, they say he's tearing it up there. Him and Young got good chemistry together. So thank you, Ohio State. Now we're going to be thanking the Georgia Bulldogs for this kid because he can play. And then they got, LSU's top cornerback, the former 5-star Ricks kid that can play. Unbelievable athlete. Came off an injury when he was down at LSU. So they picked up 3 superstar players that will fit in. And so far, they have fit in at Alabama. Went to the winter workout's been great. Spring football's been great so far. So this has been really good. Now, I want to talk to you about high school football, how this can either kill your program or I guess it can help it. But when you get a kid in your program and you're working him 2 or 3 years, and then all of a sudden you find out, you hear, where's he at? Well, he went over to, I'm not going to mention the other name in the county, but another school. Mm-hmm. That's got to, as a coach, as a competitor, it kind of
it's frustrating.
It has to be.
It really, really is one of the most frustrating things that we deal with on a daily basis. You know what I mean? Because you spend enough time and you invest enough time in that player, and that player invests time in your program. And then somebody comes along and says, "Hey, what about coming over here, coming over there?" And with the state being able to let them do it, I mean, all you can do is all I try to do every day is build our program and make it a good, positive experience for them to come every day where they enjoy themselves. And, they feel like they're wanted, and they feel like they're treated right, and they feel like they're going to be able to go to the next level if they so choose to. So we try to facilitate all those areas. But, boy, when it comes right down to it, if wins and losses motivate a lot of people more than anything else. So that's why we're trying to get better each and every day.
What sports teaches, discipline, sacrifice, commitment, loyalty. And that thing, to me, it's like they've thrown it out the window.
Yeah,
let me ask you this, Glenn.
Yeah.
If we go to war, with Russia, it looks like I'm fighting for the country. Looks like Russia's going to win. I think I'm going to transfer over to Russia. I mean, hell, that's
right.
I know that's kind of crazy, but
Right.
I just don't get it.
Well, the thing you do too is if they leave in high school is you've had them for a year or two. They know your system. And you've developed them, and you're waiting to reap the benefits of development, and then somebody else gets to do that. That's a hard thing. And the other thing too is, like you said, they're not teaching responsibility because everything in life is you're not going to be a winner at everything.
Yeah.
And so now, how are you going to handle it?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm just going to not do it. I'm going to go somewhere else.
See, I think sports is the last line of discipline these kids get. I don't.
Well, it also teaches you how to get along with other people because
it teaches so many great things. It used to, but we're changing it so much. Even the kids that came down here, and some weren't kids. They're grown. They weren't college kids, but came down and tear, with all those guns and tearing everything up. Well, hey, you got to remember now that they were conditioned watching TV, seeing looting and rioting throughout the country, burning down police cars, and the police actually going to police departments and throwing stuff, and nothing was done to them. Nothing was done to them. So what do you think?
Yeah.
Hell, in their mind, we can come down here to Panama City and do the same thing. Nothing's going to happen to us. So it's just sad what I'm seeing in all phases. I just wish in the old days, if you physically moved, you could play. And now, hey, you know what? There's no sense to complain about because it's here. We can't. You got to do I just feel bad for you guys that are still trying to teach the kids to be great people and have a good life. And it's just more difficult on you guys. And I tell you, you got to be a special cat now to be a coach. You really do.
The other thing too is that the NIL is going to filter down to high schools.
Yeah, let me ask you about that.
That's coming. I'm not a fan of it. I don't agree with it. I think once it gets to the high school level, it's
done.
We're done. I mean, when they can figure out how to play AAU football, where the kids don't have to play at a high school, when they figure out how to do that, which is what the NIL thing is, it'll ruin it. It'll really change it dramatically, in my opinion.
I know you're 100% right. In my opinion too, I believe you. Number 2, one of the reasons Alabama will win the national championship in 2022, players have something to prove. And I do believe this. They're not used to being embarrassed. And there's one thing that I kept hearing, and I said, you watch him. Knowing the guy, well, I don't know that well. Just when he needs something, I know him. But for him to get embarrassed and him to say, we got physically whipped by Georgia. Physically whipped. And their winter workouts, they addressed that. And he brought that up quite a bit, that we're not going to be physically whipped anymore. Their winter workouts were outstanding. They got after each other. You got to remember, one of the guys left and went to, I think, the Saints, one of their strength and conditioning guys. The other guy stayed. I forgot where I apologize, I forgot now off the top of my head the guy they brought in. But they have gotten stronger in the weight room. And Georgia is very strong, very physical. And he pointed out all the time to those people up there in Tuscaloosa, we were physically whipped in the fourth quarter. And that's what Alabama's known for, is being a physical football team. And for him, Saban was embarrassed about that, I think, more than anything in the fourth quarter.
They'll play with a chip on their shoulder this year. It's going to be interesting. I think they're going to – I really think they're going to be as good as they've been in the past.
Yeah.
Just because of what happened and the way that Coach Saban does things.
And you got to remember now, not only did they lose to Georgia in the national championship game, they also lost to Texas A&M. And Texas A&M moved the ball on Bama pretty easily. So Alabama wants to be a more physical football team. I think they are focused. I think they're ready to go. And number one reason they say for Alabama to win the national championship in 2022, that it's expected. They believe it. And you talk about that, Coach, how hard it is to get a team to finally get over the hump, to win a district championship, to beat a big rival team, to win a championship. Until they do it, in the back of their minds, they don't know if they can.
Correct.
At Alabama, they've done it. They expect it. That's a big deal. And you're trying to do it now.
Success breeds success.
Yeah, you're trying to establish that right now.
You got to have success to be able to breed success. So to be part of your culture, until you win or until you win that big district game or that district championship or that arch rival. And I believe until you can do it at least twice, 2 years in a row, and then you start believing it, you can do it. So.
Yeah. Another thing, too, is that I think this is critical. And then you go back and you track it. I think from 2008, 2009, when he won that first one, when he's had his offense and defensive coordinators, both of them coming back for year 2, they have won the national championship. And they are both coming back at Alabama. So far as we know, as of now, they're both back for next year. Bryce Young talked about how critical it was that Billy was coming back. O'Barr was coming back. Coach O'Barr was coming back. Did I say his name right?
O'Brien.
O'Brien's coming back.
they said that's critical. He said, man, he's a quarterback coach too. He said, we got my coach back for 2 years. That's big around here. I think this is great for everybody on the offense side of the ball. And Anderson's talked about Golding, said the same thing. They love him. Everybody wanted to get him fired there. Alabama fans are good about that. But having both those guys back are huge. Alabama's going to be a physical. I think they're going to run the ball more. I think they're going to be a lot better in the fourth quarter and the second half than people have seen in the last couple of years. So I do think Bama's got a good shot. The schedule, we'll go to the schedule later. I'm not going to do it right now. Because I tell you one team we got here, the only team we wanted to beat was Rutherford. And everybody thought it'd be Bay because we were split from Bay. We took probably, how many, 22, 25 of your starters or most of your team when we opened up. Right. Left Arnold and he came over to the new school. And I said, no, I don't really care about Bay. I want to beat Rutherford because Rutherford was the king then.
Right.
And that's all our focus on. That's all we talked about for 4 years. And then we finally beat them. And I think from then on, we beat them every time we were there. I think we beat them I don't know, maybe 10, 12 years in a row. I can't remember now. That's all we talked about. But things changed. Harden left.
Right.
You guys got better. I remember when you got good, really good team and went up and played Jacksonville Bowls and really had a shot to beat them.
Right.
But like you're talking about, once you guys get over the hump, and I guess now that Arnold Bay is such a big rival game.
It is. We actually are opening the season up with it last year. We didn't do it again this year.
A lot of money we made that night.
That's a big game for us.
Yeah.
No doubt. So.
For a lot of different reasons. Mm-hmm. And do you feel like for what you're seeing, you're all going to be, if things go the way they can, do you have enough speed? Do you have enough size?
Yes. We actually, our strength, I think, will be our offensive and defensive lines this year. We got them almost all of them back. We did lose some tight end skill kids last year, but I really think that the confidence on the offensive side of the ball that we have going on right now is really going to help us. And, we have enough. I mean, we just got to play better.
And I know you believe in the weight room. I know that for a fact.
Yeah.
And I know they've gotten stronger.
They've done a great job. And, we got a protein program installed and some things that they've never been done before or haven't done in a long, long time. So I'm excited. I really am. I think the progress and the direction this thing's going is going the right way. And, I can't do it without the support of the community, obviously, and the support of the kids and the parents. But right now, I'm really pleased and excited about what we're doing and where we're going.
Okay. Glenn, let's take a break. We get back. We talk about, I mentioned Auburn, but let's really get into Florida State some. I know you got some good stuff for us on Florida State today. We got Coach Campbell with us here today. Glenn Manley, he came out of retirement, is back here today, the legendary Glenn Manley. How many Hall of Fames you in now? The State, the Bay High School, what else? There's one I could say, but I'll probably get in trouble. I better not say that. All right, hey, don't forget today's Wednesday, world famous spaghetti, J. Michael's Restaurant. Go try it. They only have it on Wednesday. You'll love it, but they got the best seafood. Coldest beer, J. Michael's Restaurant on Thomas Drive. Stevenson Air Conditioning. Any type of issue, call Jason. Go by and see them. They'll take care of you. Buffalo Rock. They've done so many great things for Bay County. It's unbelievable. We'll be right back. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Good Wednesday morning, a blend of sun and clouds in the mid-70s. Today, a windy day, a south wind up to 35 miles per hour. There's a high surf advisory in effect through Thursday. And it looks like a chance of showers and thunderstorms overnight. Windy, could be a severe thunderstorm overnight, the low near 67. More showers and thunderstorms Thursday. This weather forecast has been brought to you by Mid-South Lumber, best little lumber yard in Panama City and Youngstown. For 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida, I'm meteorologist Tim Root.
104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida presents Wrestling Against Cancer number 7. In the main event, Chief Little Bear versus Kelly Man. Plus, exciting women's wrestling Saturday, April 30th at the Bay County Fairgrounds. Doors open at 5:30, bell time 6:30. Tickets $12. Ages 6 to 10 only $10. 5 and under free. Proceeds benefit mostly high school student Kendall Susie. We'll sell you the whole seat, but you'll only need the edge.
As a realtor, it's important who you choose as your title company. May we suggest South Oak Title? Their offices are modern, comfortable, and state-of-the-art. South Oak Title can close transactions in any location in Florida, Alabama, and Tennessee. Their free mobile app allows realtors to deliver a net sheet in seconds. They provide mobile closing services to accommodate buyers and sellers. Their offices are beautifully decorated, state-of-the-art, complete, safe, and secure. South Oak Title, creating a better title and closing experience through technology and tailored service. Visit them online at southoaktitle.com.
Sykes Concrete has been in business in this area since 1947, and 3 generations later, they're still going strong. See Sykes Concrete for dirt, sand, rock, and concrete. They can handle any size job from the smallest to the largest. Sykes Concrete pays CDL truck drivers some of the highest wages in Bay County, making $50,000 to $75,000 a year, including holiday and vacation pay, plus health insurance. See Hugh Sykes at Sykes Concrete, 8030 Highway 77 on the right, just north of Southport Elementary School.
Tiger fans, join us weekday mornings at 8:15. It's the Bay Point Golf Auburn Update on the Coach James Hale Show in 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Whoa, Eagle, hey, Martha Kinney. How's my girl doing?
She's doing wonderful.
She coming back anytime soon?
No, I'm going. It's my turn to go up there.
I tell you what, every Tuesday, 8:15, we got the voice of the Auburn Tigers, Andy Bertram. He does an incredible job. I tell you what, you talking about a hard worker. He's doing, Coach, he's got football season. As soon as that's over, he jumps into basketball. Mm-hmm. Then he left the basketball, and now he's doing baseball. The guy works his tail off. And we're going to get him down here this summer and take care of him. Oh, at Bay Point Golf, because Bay Point and Ryan Movey sponsor the Auburn Update every single day. Glenn's in here, so we're going to do something a little bit different today. I will say Auburn's big A-Day game is April 9th, 1 o'clock on the SEC Network. We'll talk a lot more about the Auburn Tigers tomorrow. But, Glenn, let's shift gears. Let's jump into Florida State, which is sponsored by all the newbies.
Yes, sir.
Now, Ryan's going to complain about this, so I did say something about Auburn. But Glenn Manley's got his pistol with him, so we're going to let him do the FSU update.
And I have a concealed weapons.
You got that one bullet in
it? Yeah, I mean, that's in my pocket. So I want to start out really with the Coach Mark Gregorian. He is the women's soccer coach. He is stepping down after 17 years. Nothing to do with money, nothing to do with anything with the administration. He's just said it's time that he stepped down and another chapter in his life should go on. But he started in 2005 and he's stepping down in 2022, about 17 years. He has 3 national championships, 2014, 2018, 2021, 6 appearances in the national championship game, 2007, 2013, 2014, 2018, 2020, and 2021. And he's won, I won't name all those, he has won regular season titles. He won 4 of those, and he's won 8 league championships. So he's been there quite a while, and he's had a resume. He has bent Florida State into a women's soccer, dynasty. I tell you what, they are fantastic.
He got a lot of good Marlins over there.
He had a lot of good Marlins, yeah, I was going to tell you. So, there's going to be a big hole to fill there because he had his things all set up.
He had the Crowley, I can't even talk. Crowley girls over there. We had all 3 of them, I believe.
Yeah, they were great. So
they all played Arnold. They were really good players, great players.
And, also now in baseball, they are 16-7. They are number 5th. They're 5th in the nation. They are 6-3 in the ACC. But last night they lost 6-3 to Florida. So I don't know how that's going to affect their standings. But they have a good season going. Junior Martin is doing a good job, so everything's going there. The softball team, they're 30-2. They're number 2 in the nation. Oklahoma's number 1, and then they are 7-2 in the ACC. Coach Alameda won her 800th game last Friday.
Wow!
So congratulations to her. And then today they're over in Jacksonville and they're playing in some kind of little, I don't know if it's a tournament or not, but it's a doubleheader. They play North Florida, University of North Florida at 2. Then they play Jacksonville University at 4:30. So we'll see that. The men's tennis is 12-6, 2-4 in the ACC. Women's 9-8, 3-6 in the old ACC. Now, one of the things I want to get to before, Coach, you may not even know who this guy is, but Coach Joe Williams, who coached Artis Gilmore at Jacksonville University, and they played for the national championship. He coached at Florida State as the head coach from 1978 to 86. And so he had 2 NCAA appearances with them. And so he did a good job. But Artis Gilmore, who was actually from Chipley, talked about how he made him a better player and a better person. See, Artis grew up in early 60s and all that in Chipley in a southern rural town. So having to not drink out of the water fountains, have to go to the balcony or somewhere in the movies, that sort of thing. So when he went to some junior college, the guy still, even though he was a starter and everything, still kind of put him in his place the way he talked to him.
Right.
So then when he goes to this guy, he goes to see Coach Williams at Jacksonville U, and Coach Williams is actually a white guy, was very calm. He never yelled at practice, never did anything, told him he could be anything he wanted to be, and gave them the freedom. And he said he never had an issue at Jacksonville University with anything, so it made him become a better person. And as he became some of that pressure off of the way he was treated, then he became an even better basketball player. So, he passed away, and he is from a little town in Mississippi. So I just wanted to give a shout out to him. Now on the football, we have some kids stepping down. Corey Wren is in the 2020 cycle. He was Coach Norval's first cycle. He was a running back and defensive back, and he was a 3-star coming out of high school. He ran a 10-400 meters. He has decided he wants to be in the transfer portal. So if you go into the running back room, they have pulled some people out. They have a guy named Trey Benson who came from Oregon. They also have a guy right here from Bay County, C.J. Campbell, who was a walk-on, but he's an academic scholar. He is now very impressive during the spring. They're very pleased with what he's doing. And so there's some new guys that have come in. So the running back room was partially full, and then they had put Wren on defense some. And so he has decided he wants to go somewhere else. Then the gentleman named Jarvis Brownlee, he was suspended for the spring for some team rules. So he's decided he's not even on the roster. Neither one of those guys are on the roster now. And then Norval talked about Tuesday's practice. That was the 8th practice. He said coming off the Saturday scrimmage, they really tried to push more situational work. And he said Tuesday he started out a little good. It was pretty good, but you know what? He said it wasn't up to the standards that I want. There was not a lot of consistency in some of those things, and we're going to challenge them more to do that. So he wants to really push that along. And the spring game is going to be April 9th at 5 o'clock. And so we want to go by and see that. And they're going to do it like they did last year, with the concert and all that good stuff. But also they were getting some 4- and 5-star visitors that have made several trips back to FSU. And the things about the people that came in the portal, they said it was just like they'd been there the whole time. They were accepted and everything, and they just really proud they chose Florida State because they've been accepted by the community, by the administration, and everything. And the other thing is they have a new locker room. They've had the new locker and they let them go through, and it's fantastic.
They're all excited.
They were. He let them run. He just opened the door and let them run in there, and they all were taking pictures and everything. But they're working on a place to put the new facility, so we'll see what goes on with all that. But I hopefully he's getting the right people to do the thing.
Let's ask Coach. I guess they'll start coming in May. All the colleges come in recruiting in May.
Yeah, they're starting to come back in a little bit. Recruiting has changed so much too. That coaches don't come in like they used to. They don't have to. They can get online, and they can get on the huddle, and they can get on Twitter, and they can get, it's more about promoting them through social media. I miss the good old days where they come in a bunch, but yeah, they'll start coming during spring football. Yeah. A lot of them have asked me about my spring practice and when it is, and they're going to stop by. So I'm excited to see them again.
Do you know who's responsible for Bay County, this part of the Panhandle from Florida State?
I do not.
Okay.
How's Mickey for years?
Yeah. How's Auburn doing for us recruiting? Do you get in contact with those?
Yeah, they've emailed me. I think it's Burns is his last name.
Yeah, Cody Burns.
He's emailed me. We talked on the phone a couple times. So yeah, they're all trying to get in touch as they're coming through. But I'm excited to see them. I hope they get here.
And what about football camps this summer? Are you guys going to go anywhere, do anything? What's going on with that?
We're going to go to Cairo and do an OTA for 2 days. That'll be in the 2nd or 3rd week of June. Then otherwise, we're just going to kind of hang close and do what we do and
summertime
try to get better at us, summertime stuff. So get better at us, Some kids go to quarterback camps. Like my quarterback's going to go to quarterback camp. Some linemen will go to some lineman camps and stuff that they always come and ask about. So I support them on that. But
for as coaching clinics, have you gone to any? You and your staff going to do anything this summer? Are they still doing the summer
Florida High School Athletics. So they still have that big one they used to do once a year.
No, I don't think they're doing that anymore.
Okay.
We're talking about going to Florida State, maybe go to Auburn or just go talk to them and go to some smaller places. I got a good friend of mine that's at Valdosta State, so we may ride up there and go sit down with them and talk to them. Once spring football gets over. So.
Yeah, well, when you said that, made me think. We used to go to Troy every once in a while when Larry was coach there, and with the smaller schools, man, they sit in there. They fed us. We sit up there, got us a discount at a hotel, and just spent time with those guys, sitting talking football.
I'd rather go to a smaller school because you get more information.
Yeah.
The bigger schools, they share with you, but they don't tell you what they call it. They don't. And of course, if we're there, there's always a bunch of other people around them, so you don't get as much individual attention. But the smaller places, to me, we learn more. So that's why I would rather go to those places.
Because they have the same problems you do.
Yeah.
Really, when you get smaller schools. But, one time we went over there to the Coach Bowden's camp, and Mark Rick was the quarterback coach, and we were looking at the shallow cross. He took us up in the room up there where they do it, and he said, I'm going to put this thing on like you want to do it. I'm leaving. All you got to do is if you go down the elevator, you start, if you go down the elevator, you're locked out. You can't get back in. But they shared with us. They treat you just like, they've known you all your life. And Coach Andrews was really good about it.
Yeah, he was always good to us, too.
I love Mickey. God, dog, I was going to what about this with it now they can transfer, which I hate. Another reason I don't like it, it hurts the high school guys. There's less scholarships to give out. I mean, they got to hold back some scholarships now for guys that transferring around. They go look at that, and they take a guy that's been playing. They can watch the film. They know he can play at that level. And then when you're dealing with a high school kid, you think they can, but you don't know 100%. So that's less scholarship for high, which makes it harder for you to get the guys in a scholarship.
Well, it's hurting high school recruiting because they can get a kid that's already established, that's already proven himself, and for the same amount of money, where they don't have to bring a kid from high school that might do it and might stay out of trouble. And I've talked to quite a few guys about that, and they said it is what it is, Coach. We'll obviously send us, and we send all our stuff on a list and send our prospects out each and every year to everybody in the country, so they have the information. But it has changed it. Yeah. It's definitely changed it.
It's getting harder and harder to get that scholarship.
Well, Coach Nick Saban warned them about this.
He sure did.
He did. So, but now he's using it.
I said let's give them 30 scholarships a year, 25 for the high school kids, 5 for the transfers. Give them more kids on the roster. Give them more scholarships. They got the money. Anyway, that's a whole different other thing. We got to take a break right now. Let's talk about Chuck Tucker, man. The guy does an unbelievable job. You go to closing, you demand Chuck Tucker, South Oak Title and Closing. They do an incredible job. It's your money. It's your decision. You tell them this is who I want. South Oak Title and Closing, Chuck Tucker. That's who I got to have. I'm not going to do business if I don't get him. Also, Dr. Chad Mitchell. He'll be in here every Monday. He's been taking care of athletes now for 22 years on Bay County sidelines. If you get injured, you don't have to be an athlete. Go by and call Southern Orthopedics, make an appointment with Dr. Chad Mitchell. He will see you. Rudy's Barbecue, Ethan Boyd does an incredible job down there. 350-seat, brand new facility. The food's incredible. Try the turkey sandwich. You'll love it. We'll be right back. 104.3 ESPN, Northwest Florida.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
The Dan Patrick Show. Dave Roberts, the Dodger manager, was on with us yesterday, and he had a guarantee for the Dodgers this season.
We are winning the World Series in 2022. Put it on record.
So what's the fallout if you don't win it? Oh, you said you guarantee. Okay, he believes in his team. But I appreciate, Dave making the guarantee.
Dan Patrick.
The Dan Patrick Show.
9 to 11 on ESPN Northwest Florida.
Golf Plus is your premier golf shop on the Gulf Coast. Not a big box or a chain store, but a local store with golf experts to serve you. An amazing array of demo and fitting products, plus a professional repair shop that can handle anything from a basic re-grip to a full set of re-shafts and everything in between. Golf Plus has locations in Dothan and Panama City Beach to serve you. Come see them today for all your golf needs. Located next to Firefly at the shops at Edgewater. Call 850-249-2726.
Sykes Concrete has been in business in this area since 1947, and 3 generations later, they're still going strong. See Sykes Concrete for dirt, sand, rock, and concrete. They can handle any size job from the smallest to the largest. Sykes Concrete pays CDL truck drivers some of the highest wages in Bay County, making $50,000 to $75,000 a year, including holiday and vacation pay, plus health insurance. See Hugh Sykes at Sykes Concrete, 8030 Highway 77 on the right, just north of Southport Elementary School.
104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida are proud members of the Panama City Beach Chamber. We'd like to welcome the newest members to the Beach Chamber.
Gulf Jazz Society, Homestar Financial Group, Dina Humphreys, Northwest Florida Health Network, Thomas Howell Ferguson, PA, CPAs, and Walpro, LLC.
Congratulations from the area's only sports radio station, 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
He doesn't always go the extra mile. But when he does, it's because he missed the exit. It's the Coach James Hale Show. Live and local inside the J. Michaels studio. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Go Gators!
If you're not a Gator, you are
Gator hater.
Or Gator bait.
I thought we couldn't say that anymore.
Oh.
No, we can do it. We can do it. It doesn't matter.
You can't do the chop.
You can't. Really?
You can't do the chomp.
All right, we're back. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. Every Wednesday, 8:30, Mark McLeod, the great one, Mark McLeod, the local boy that went off, did great things from Mosley High School. Mark, how you doing this morning?
Hey, doing well, Coach.
Hey, I want to get it one more time. We'll talk about Mike White, the former head basketball coach at the University of Florida, now with the Georgia Bulldogs. They finally came up with his salary. He's going to make $3.4 million a year coaching Georgia Bulldogs at Florida now. You guys were, I don't know if y'all had a bargain or what, but y'all were paying him $3.1 million a year. He's 45 years old. His record at Florida in 7 seasons, 142 wins, 88 losses.
Where'd the 3 ties come in?
I didn't know. Did I say ties?
No.
Oh. You got me there. Oh, hey, by the way, Mark, Glenn Manley's back in the house. He knew you were going to be here on Wednesday. He had to get back on the radio with you.
Good. Always good to have him in.
Yep. Yeah. Thank you, sir.
Now, this past year, he was 19-13, 9-9 in the SEC. He's now the head basketball coach at Georgia. Dr. Ward was on earlier. He's been out of the country for a while, so we were harassing him about Georgia coming in and stealing Florida's basketball coach, and he said, hey, it didn't matter. We're going to fire him anyway. So, anyway. Yep. What did you think about, I mean, really, I know we talked about it before last week, but $3.4 million, that's a pretty good deal for him, I think.
Yeah, it is. And like I said, he'll do some nice things at Georgia. He really will. I think the bar at Georgia is very low. It is certainly not where it is in Gainesville. I mean, Florida, as I said, Florida participated in a national championship, a Final Four appearance again when they had Lon Kruger as their head coach, and then several times under Billy Donovan, winning 2 of them, 2 national championships. So the bar in Gainesville is much different than it is in Georgia. He'll be fine.
Yeah, they'll like to have a 9-9 SEC record.
Yeah. Well, they were 1-17 SEC. They were 6-26 overall. And you know what? I don't really blame Coach White. It just didn't seem like it was ever working there. The people, I don't think there was half of the boosters and half of the fans I think never liked him or didn't. Well, I won't say never liked him, but they wanted him. They wanted him out. They wanted somebody else in there. So I think he did the right thing for him.
I think, well, he's a class act. He did the right thing, and the coach is right. He did the right thing for him, and he did the right thing for Florida, I think. But look, it is what it is. You don't win, you're going to create a lot of in-house bickering and fighting, and that's exactly what he did. And look, we could all agree that you lose some key players, including the preseason SEC Player of the Year, to injuries, and just seems like he had a lot of that going at Florida, where he just couldn't seem to catch a break. And unfortunately, that happens. But to his credit, he went and approached Scott Strickland and said, "I have another job offer that I'm interested in." And Strickland looked at him and told him, "You better take it because you're about to be out of here." So it benefited Florida. Florida was able to pick up $1.2 million. It's an old story now. I mean, it's old news now. Everybody's in Gainesville. No one's talking about it. Everyone's talking about football and spring football and baseball, and that's pretty much it, really.
Well, let's get into baseball. FSU got a big Florida got a big win last night over FSU, 6-3. Baseball team's got a chance to be pretty good this year. Talk about the baseball team, Mark.
Yeah, it was a good win for Florida. And you know, Kevin O'Sullivan, when it comes to playing Florida State, I mean, he slapped them around more than Will Smith. He really has. He has really blistered them. 31 and 18.
Yeah.
31 and 18 against Mike Martin coach teams, and that's impressive because Mike Martin is one heck of a coach. He's unbelievable, and for Sully to have that kind of record against Florida State, I think speaks volumes. And they did it the way he likes to do it. You know that Florida was horrible against LSU the last two games last weekend. There were two losses to LSU in back-to-back games that had never happened in Sully's career. He talked about that. Florida couldn't make pitches. They were plunking. They plunked 8 LSU batters on Saturday or Sunday. I mean, you got to be kidding me. So just a lot of things with the pitching didn't go well. The offense was slow to get things going. But then you come to and you play an arch rival, the number 5 team in the country, in an incredible atmosphere in Jacksonville, and Florida gets it done 6-3. They did it the way Sully likes to do it. They had good, solid pitching. They had outstanding defense, and they got the bats going when they needed to. Particularly Langford. White Langford was fantastic. He was the player of the game, offensively and defensively.
So the game was played in Jacksonville. I thought it was played in Gainesville. I didn't know that. Okay, good.
No, it was Jacksonville. They had the attendance said they had over 8,000, but there may have been a few more there.
Mark, is this the last time this year they play each other, or they play each other one more time?
That's a good question. I think they play one more time in Gainesville, but I know there was some issues about that before the season began, whether they were going to be able to get that going. But I think they will, because remember that first one was washed, right?
Yeah.
Between these two teams,
yeah,
because of the weather. So they had an issue with weather, but it was postponed. I'm not sure if there's going to be another game in Gainesville between these teams, but obviously they will play in Tallahassee. I think that's mid-April sometime.
Well, let's get to the game against Georgia. They got Thursday. I think they're at Athens Thursday, 7:00 game Central Time. That's going to be on ESPN. Then Friday, their first pitch is going to be, I believe, now I want to say 4:00 Central Time, and that's going to be in the SEC network. No, or maybe ESPNU. Okay, maybe ESPNU.
Yeah, that's 6 o'clock.
6 o'clock.
That's a 6 o'clock Eastern Time game.
Okay.
So.
All right, and then Saturday's game, what time is that? 1 o'clock Central? 12 o'clock?
2 o'clock. They're going to play that actually at 2 o'clock in Georgia.
Yeah. Our time is at 1. Georgia, and that's going to be on the SEC network. Now, what is Georgia ranked? Like 23rd or something in the country? I think.
Yeah, Georgia baseball's come up. It really has. They've done a nice job. There were 2 teams that Sully talked about a few years ago with me when I was talking to him about the SEC and the direction that he sees it, and who he sees really popping up. And about 3 years ago, the first team he mentioned was Tennessee. He goes, look out for Tennessee. He goes, I'm telling you, they're recruiting. They're doing very well. Tennessee, they're going to be tough to deal with in the future. And man, is he right? They're the number 1 team in the country right now, 23-1 on the year. Georgia, though, was another team he mentioned. He goes, if Georgia there's a couple things Georgia needs to do, but they've got some good players. If they can get a few more, he said, I think Georgia can be pretty good too. And those were the 2 teams in the conference who he thought would really have a chance to be good. And look at Georgia. They're looking for their 20th win. I think they have 19 on the year. I know they have 19 on the year. I don't know how many losses they have. But it's a good Georgia baseball team. They're 3-3 in conference play, and it's going to be any time on the road in the SEC. It's not easy. Florida tried to sweep Bama, and on that Sunday game they just couldn't get it done. Bama took it, and boy, that stuck with the Gator players. Gator players did not like the way that thing ended. They thought they had a sweep and could get it done, and then Bama jumped up and bit them, and that was a lot of disappointment, but not half the disappointment as this past weekend against LSU. Florida just got rolled over by the Tigers.
I know it's real early in the SEC play. I know that, but right now, I think Tennessee's ranked really high, maybe number 1 in one of the polls. Who do you think right now? I know it's early, but who would you give the edge to? Maybe the best baseball team in the SEC.
Well, you look at Tennessee, Vanderbilt, Arkansas. Those are the 3 players that you always see. The Mississippi schools are usually very good. but they don't seem to be as good as they were or have been. But you never know. Teams can peak at different times, especially if you get some freshmen going. This is about the time, Coach, when you really start to see these freshmen get in it. And then Kevin O'Sullivan even said it Sunday in his post-game presser. He said, look, we can't use the excuse that they're freshmen. He goes, really? You're 20, 25 games into this. He goes, you're not freshmen anymore. You've got some experience. So that's what he likes to call it. And this is a time of the year, though, as he kind of elaborated with, that we should be getting some innings from our freshman pitchers who can really help us and do some things. But overall, I think Tennessee, Arkansas, LSU is going to be pretty good, I think. But Vanderbilt is always good. Texas A&M, I'm not sure about Texas A&M. I think they've certainly got some good players, but can they come together and pull it all together? I'm not sure.
All right, we got Mark McLeod with us every Wednesday, 7:30. Mark, we're going to hold you over and get back and jump in some SEC football, what's going on in Florida spring football practice. I know recruiting. I know they're doing a wonderful job there. But right now, let's talk about some of our great people. We know today's Wednesday. We know that means world-famous J. Michael Spaghetti will be packed out at lunchtime and dinner. Also, don't forget about Buffalo Rock.
Absolutely.
Have they not been one of the best companies around to take care of Bay County for years? I mean, for as long as I can remember.
Yeah, I go way back to the early 70s with them when I was teaching at Jinx, and they supplied a lot of things for us, and they just gotten better every year. So.
I loved old Johnny Penny now.
Oh, yeah.
I love Beth, TJ. They do they're all great.
Yep.
No doubt about
Chad.
that. Get out there and take care of Buffalo Rock. They take care of us here in Bay County. Also, don't forget about Newbies, 3 great locations. The mothership, they've got food now, Glenn. It's unbelievable. They do a great job there. But to watch the basketball games, the Final Four, Newbies doing the curve. It's been remodeled. It's beautiful in there. Go try it. You'll love it. Don't forget about all the Newbies. Appreciate John and Charlotte. They do a wonderful job.
You can go to the brew and booze and stay there all day.
Yep. And Dr. Ward, if it doesn't look right, feel right, go see Dr. Ward.
Right.
We'll be right back. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Good Wednesday morning, a blend of sun and clouds in the mid-70s. Today, a windy day, a south wind up to 35 miles per hour. There's a high surf advisory in effect through Thursday. And it looks like a chance of showers and thunderstorms overnight. Windy, could be a severe thunderstorm overnight, the low near 67. More showers and thunderstorms Thursday. This weather forecast has been brought to you by Offord Tire and Service Center in Callaway. For 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida, I'm meteorologist Tim Root.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
Mike Greenberg is Greeny.
They've done everything they can to justify taking Tua and done everything they can to give him every chance to succeed. They spent $1 trillion on their offensive line. They took Jalen Waddle last year, and now they've just made Tyreek Hill the most expensive receiver in NFL history and traded all these draft picks, including a number 1 pick. That's why the Dolphins did.
Weekday afternoons from 2 till 4, 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Hi folks, it's Tracy with Tracy's Fine Jewelry. Did you know that we have a master jeweler right here in the store? That's right, he has over 30 years experience in the art of repairing jewelry. Most repairs are done within 2 business days, so don't send your jewelry off for 6 weeks. Bring it to us at Tracy's Fine Jewelry. We size rings and solder chains. We can reset your diamond into new settings and even custom design. You'll get your jewelry back quickly and looking as good as new. Tracy's Fine Jewelry, Bay County's trusted jeweler for over 45 years.
Sykes Concrete has been in business in this area since 1947, and 3 generations later, they're still going strong. See Sykes Concrete for dirt, sand, rock, and concrete. They can handle any size job from the smallest to the largest. Sykes Concrete pays CDL truck drivers some of the highest wages in Bay County, making $50,000 to $75,000 a year, including holiday and vacation pay, plus health insurance. See Hugh Sykes at Sykes Concrete, 8030 Highway 77 on the right, just north of Southport Elementary School.
I don't always talk to Alabama fans, but when I do, I ask for large fries. Now back to the Coach James Hale Show on 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
And welcome back to 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. Rain, you've done such a good job today, like always. Hope you're feeling better. Let me come and give you a little hug. Okay. He's got the coughs today.
I know.
Mark McLeod's with us. Everything you need to know about Florida football, Florida sports, SEC.
That's
He's
right.
got him. I'm telling you, does a great job. Glenn Manley's with us this morning. Coach Campbell, Arnold's head football coach, is also with us. Mark, we've asked everybody this question today. One question, I had an article, one question each SEC school must answer during the spring. Just one. For the University of Florida, what do you think it should be, or what would be for you? What's one question Florida needs to answer this spring?
I can come up with 4 or 5.
Well, go ahead. Give it to us.
So
Give it to us.
This would be 1A, 1B, 1C.
Yeah.
All right, you want to start on the offensive side of the ball? Let's see who's going to be the quarterback. Looks like Richardson is really doing well. He's doing some nice things in practice. Still has some issues staring down receivers and making some mistakes here and there, but overall, he's the leader of that offense right now. Miller, though, has played pretty well. Jack Miller, the transfer from Ohio State, has done well. So who's going to be the quarterback? Offensive line. I mean, Florida is finally, you're starting to see some names pop on the offensive line here. You're hearing coming out of practice. Osiris Torrance, the guy who's a 3-time All-Sun Belt player at Louisiana. I've seen him in some mock drafts for next year, believe it or not. At right guard looks like he's now picking everything up in Gainesville, and he's looking good. Richard Garage at left tackle looks good. Kingsley Agakwan at center is looked pretty good. Michael Tarquin at right tackle is looking better. And then the guy that we've all been wondering about, are we going to hear some things? Are we going to see some things? And you're really starting to hear things come out of practice the last 2 or 3 sessions. I should say 3 practice sessions. Florida's only been through 7 thus far. They have 15. They've been through 7. DeMarcus Bowman has been electric from what I'm hearing coming out of practice. And I've read Bob Redman's stuff on 24/7. He's saying the same thing. Actually, he's saying a bit more than I am. But DeMarcus Bowman has had some big-time plays, some big runs where he's broken some big ones. Lorenzo Lingard has looked good. So offensively, those are some questions. The big question for Florida, too, offensively, who's going to catch the ball? Well, Justin Shorter's back, yeah. Henderson, you got Henderson. But, I mean, outside of that, Florida's got to develop some wide receivers. Marcus Burke may be the surprise guy, a kid out of Jacksonville at 6'4" and just extremely athletic. He's been very good, but Florida's got to get some more depth at wide receiver. They've got to do some things at tight end. They have they have 2 guys who have now been knocked out due to injuries, including Nick Elksness, who is a kid that we were all looking forward to. So really, you're down to 1 tight end and Keon Zipperer, and then a few other guys. But yeah, a lot of questions. Like I said, I guess I can come up with 4 questions on the offensive side of the ball alone.
That was 4 good ones. I enjoyed it. Yeah, that was good.
Defensive side of the ball, it's inside. I want to see who's going to play with inside at tackle. I mean, there's some real questions there for Florida inside when you look at it overall. Everyone knows about Dexter. Everyone knows Gervon Dexter. Everybody knows that name. But outside of that, who's going to play inside? Florida's got quality defensive ends. Princely Emmanuel, that guy's going to be terrific. He's number 33. People probably remember him from number 33 because most people couldn't pronounce his last name. And then, of course, you got Brandon Cox is back again after transferring from Georgia several years ago. He's back one more time. And Florida looks like they've got some guys on the back end that are playing. Jason Marshall is getting great reviews. I mean, people are raving about him at practice. He's just a sophomore. So, and Trey Dean looks like he's had a resurgence in his career. They're moving him around, and he's doing some really nice things this spring. So, there's some answers for Florida, but boy, there are a lot of questions for the Gators.
Well, you get back to Richardson. I read an article where the players are going crazy about him, that what a leader he's becoming, not just with his play, but vocally taking over and being a leader and being like a team captain for the Florida Gators. Have you heard the same thing?
Yeah, exactly. And that's what Florida needed. The Emory Jones saga just didn't work out as well. I don't think the players really liked Emory because he was an extremely likable person. He was a great locker room guy, but he didn't have the athleticism, the flash that Richardson does, and we saw moments of that last year. But the issues with him locking on the receivers is something that Billy Napier and Ryan O'Hara, the quarterback coach, are really going to have to work on, and those are some of the negatives coming out of practice. He's locked in on a few receivers, and defenders have read it, and been able to knock the ball away or get a pick.
What about Miller, the linebacker? Is he practicing this spring? Are they taking it easy with him injury-wise, or what's the deal with him?
You know, he's one. I haven't heard that name at all. On the defensive side of things. I mean, you've heard about some of the other linebackers stepping up.
Yeah.
DeJuan Black is one guy that I've heard that name several times. How athletic and freakishly athletic, and his quickness and speed. He's doing a really good job. But Sapp, I've heard Sapp's name quite a bit. But outside of those two guys, really haven't heard a whole lot.
Okay. Well, injury-wise, have they been pretty healthy? They've got people banged up yet?
Yeah, they do a tight end. They've lost 2 tight ends to surgery. Jason Odom, the old Florida offensive lineman, you guys remember him from the Spurrier era when he started. Reggie Green on the left side and Jason Odom, 2 true freshmen starting for the Gators back in the early 90s. His son, Jonathan, is a tight end at Florida, a terrific blocker, but a guy that really needs to develop in other areas. He's out for the year, and so is Nick Elksness. And Elksness is the guy everybody wanted to see. He's the guy that can run, catch the ball very well, fast. Just really that tight end. Much like Mike Gesicki down in Miami. I mean, that's who I've heard him compared to.
Let me ask you this: is it true that they're going to play the spring game April 14th on a Thursday?
Yes.
6:30 SEC Network. Yeah.
Yeah. Billy Napier is a Christian man, and he said, "Look, I know for Easter, a lot of kids go home. Whether you're a believer or not, a lot of the kids go home for the Easter weekend." He said, "I don't want to play a game on Saturday night with Easter Sunday, and have just a few kids in the stands, because I would love to have all 55,000 students at the University of Florida in the stands for the spring game." He said, "So I want to move it." So he moved it to Thursday, and the hope is that things are better there.
Wow. Well, you know what? It's going to be on SEC Network, I do believe, and there'll be a lot of people watching a football game. They'll be the only one they have to worry about is Florida's.
Well, that's exactly right, and that's the whole point. Me and another media guy I know, he hates this decision, and I said, "Why? They're the only game in town. That's exactly what you want. If you want recruits to drive up, and on a Thursday night, and then they can go to somewhere else on Saturday, then there are a lot of kids that are within the 2-3 hour range of Gainesville that would love to do that." And Billy Napier has made no secret. He said, "We want to lock down the state of Florida, our area in recruiting." I shouldn't say the state of Florida. He said, "In a 4.5 miles away, or 4.5 hours away from this campus in any direction, we want you to come to the University of Florida if you're an elite football player." And that's what he's trying to do.
Yeah, and Mark, recruiting-wise, I think the guy's knocking out of the ballpark so far. They got a kid. This kid's an unbelievable football player, number 3 cornerback in the country, out of Thompson High School. Tony Mitchell, I believe the kid's name is, 6'2", 180, whatever. I mean, the guy is a stud. Alabama offered him when he was a freshman. He came out with his top 5. Florida's right there with him. I mean, Billy Napier's doing an unbelievable job in recruiting.
He is. He's getting elite kids on campus. Mitchell was going to be one of 3. Florida wanted 3 5-star corners on campus at the same time. They wanted to sell them all at the same time. Now that's a bit unusual, but in this day and age, we've seen it happen with receivers. 3 5-star receivers go to another campus and sell them. Heck, Alabama does it all the time. So Napier wanted to try to do that. Unfortunately, he could only get 2 of the 5 stars in last week, but he did get 2 5-star corners in last week, and Mitchell is a guy they've been all over.
Yeah, he's a great one. If they can pull him out, good God, that'd be unbelievable. Hey, listen, Mark, we got Coach Campbell with us this morning. We're going to let you go a little bit early. We got you next Wednesday.
Absolutely.
All right. Hey, tell everybody real quick the best way to listen to what you got.
Today we'll be talking Florida football on my show at 4:00. You can catch that on 1021news.com, 1021news.com, and at McLeod Live on Twitter.
All right, Mark. Thank you so much. We'll talk to you next week, buddy. Thank you.
Thanks, Mark.
Thanks, guys. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. All right, Coach, real quick. We got about 2 minutes.
Yep.
What's going on, Arnold High School? I know you got a fundraiser coming. Let's talk about that one more time.
Yeah, we get the Booster Club golf tournament coming up April 23rd, 9 o'clock, Bay Point. If you want interested in playing, just get a hold of me at the school. It's online. It's on our website. You can actually go to the golf tournament, golf course. Ryan has all the information over there. They'd be glad to sign you up. So that's our big one coming up for the month of April. Then we have spring ball starting April 25th. Our spring game is May 20th at our place at 6 o'clock. So we'd love to have you come out and support the Marlins.
That sounds good. Now, if anybody just happen to move in, want to play football, they're at school, they can still come out spring football. You know, if you just got here, and I know you got the guys going through the weight program, everything like that, but you opened up for everybody.
Yeah, it's open to everybody. So we'll start June 6th. Our summer workouts in the morning, 8 to 10, 4 days a week. So if you happen to be moving in the summertime, you got to keep moving in, and they're in our district or whatever, come on.
Have you done your calendar yet for the summertime when y'all going to crank it back up for the weight room?
Yes. Yeah, we'll go the first 3 weeks of June, Monday through Thursday, from 8 to 10:30.
Give them off
11, and then we give them the week of the 4th of July off.
Smart, yeah.
And then we go, and I tell you what I started doing too is I'm giving them the last week of July off right before school starts because they either go on vacation, they go school shopping, get their hair cut, and they wind up missing anyhow. So I just give them that break, and it's probably best. It helps them recover right before we get started.
That's a great idea, and I really think that whole week of 4th of July, you did the right thing. We decided that. We used to fight that, and we.
Yeah.
And I tell you what, after going traveling before on 4th of July, I'd rather sit at home.
Absolutely.
Glenn, thank you so much for coming in.
I enjoyed it. Yeah, thank you.
Everything going on in the golf world doing good?
Golf world's going good. As I say, I'm hitting it down on the screws right now.
And you're going to get some inside information on what's going to happen at Bay. Can I tell everybody right now you're not going to be the head coach?
I am not going to be the head coach.
I already told everybody you were going to be.
Well, see, you start a lot of rumors.
I enjoy that. Thank you.
But that's the old military. If you don't hear a rumor by 10 o'clock, start your own.
There you go. All right, we got Dave and Boston T coming on this afternoon. We're out 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. Thank you, Coach.
That's it.
104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida presents the madness of college basketball. Who will be this year's Cinderella? ESPN Northwest Florida is your exclusive